There we go. We are live with Ruby Quinn, also known as the fabulous NewYorkerRican.
Yes.
We're live. We don't have anything set in stone of exactly what we want to do, but if there's some questions, if anybody wants to chime in, has any uh anything that they want to comment on, raise your hand and we'll and if we don't pick your comment, know that Jehovah heard your comment, and that's what's important. Do you remember that?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Do you remember getting offended when you couldn't comment during a meeting because the brother wouldn't pick you, and you felt like the brother was slighting you?
Yeah. And my mom would say, just keep putting your hand up. So
Yeah.
even if somebody else was picked, just leave it there because he can see you. You're gonna be the next one. So it's like you're always waiting for like, pick me, pick me, pick me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Or
and
you let the brother know beforehand, before the watchtower
oh,
starts. You say,
mm-hmm.
brother, I want to answer paragraph whatever.
Yeah, and then you would have like the kid who would give the brother like a note, like I want to answer paragraph 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello, Este. Welcome to the live stream. Este is always joining our live streams and much appreciated.
Yes, me too.
So
It's like the more I do this, I recognize
yeah,
usernames, and I'm like, oh hey, what's up?
yeah, it's awesome. Here, I want to show it just to shout them out. Yep.
You can
Good
ask us
evening.
questions or whatever. This is
Yeah,
freestyling.
freestyling, just doing a general hangout. I like the idea. I wish we could also maybe we could find also more XJW people that are in our same kind of realm, like to do like a like a live stream where we're all talking about experiences and stuff like that. That'd be really really cool. Um, it says, I used to raise my hand slowly so I wouldn't get called on. It worked. How come I never thought about that? I would do sometimes like this, like the older people be like this, but I've
Oh
never thought
Lord.
about just doing real slow. Oh well, I tried.
Or when he picks somebody, then raise your hand and like, oh man, he missed me.
Yeah, right. After the fact,
Yeah.
it
Um,
it really depended on the elder.
right. If they liked you or if they know you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna tell you the guy that I did the interview with, Jaron. I told him
Ah, yeah.
about you, and I told him about like this XJW Hangout session, and he's interested. So if you want to connect with him, I will forward the information.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome for sure. Yeah, you could email it to me or something like that. That'd be really cool. We could
Yeah,
all
like a
do a
couple
thing
of us.
together. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. We have my fiance. This is my fiance. She's saying hi.
Oh, hi.
Hey babe, welcome to the live stream.
I
She
told my
doesn't.
cousin too,
Hmm?
but I don't know if I don't. I told my cousin to join if she wanted to, but I don't know if she's gonna come.
Yeah. Oh, it's cool. Your cousin, is she currently a witness? Did I understand that or?
Yes. So if anybody saw the live that I did yesterday, that was the cousin that I'm talking about. Yeah,
Okay.
she's a Jehovah's Witness, but she doesn't I guess practice anymore. She's woken up to a few things, and because of the mistreatment from our family, we got the same family obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like exactly what they did to me, she was not spared. And so when she saw what was happening to me, and she was telling them like, why are you treating Ruby like that? Like, we
Hmm.
all make mistakes, or we're of the age to make mistakes, so why are you treating her like this? And I
Hmm.
was like, they're gonna do the same thing to you, right? Because we have very similar stories. And
Yeah.
I'm like, they're gonna do the same thing to you. Like, it doesn't matter, who your mother is or your father is. We already know how they're gonna treat us. So she was the only one that I was the only one who didn't shun her when, she got pregnant, she had her kid, and she didn't really shun me. So we're the only two people that have ever been there for each other.
Isn't it crazy that like the way you're saying it's like I didn't do this horrible thing to her and she didn't do this horrible thing to me, when in the Jehovah's Witness like circles that's like so normal, and you don't call it shunning, you call it like like distancing, or there's fellowship, so you've like that's the only way I can think of is distancing, but essentially shunning is what it is. But
Right.
you don't technically have to, but as a culture like JW culture, that's normal. That's what you do when someone's DF'd or DA'd.
Yeah, because now you're a bad association. So even though
Exactly.
we're family, we're cousins, she really couldn't associate with me if she wanted to get reinstated, you know? So
Hmm.
she, you know, when it was time to make that decision for her, I told her, you know, I can still talk to you, you can still talk to me. Don't let them bully you into treating, you know, blood like that. You know, like we're family, we're better than that. But she had to soft shun me for a while to get reinstated. And then after she got reinstated, and she found out the same thing I found out, that nothing changed. They still
Hmm.
treat you like garbage. You know, you go to the Kingdom Hall, you bring, you know, your kid, or you want to like bring your family, and they treat you the same. And
Hmm.
then that's when she started talking to me again, and she was like, I'm so sorry. You know, there was a moment of like apologizing to each other because I felt abandoned, you know, like emotionally. And I was like, you're the only family member that I have, and you know, you still did it. And
Hmm.
so we had to like really get back together, almost, you know, like apologize and be like, I understand why you did it. I just wish that you didn't let them bully you into that, you know, because now you feel guilty, you feel bad that you treated your cousin, you know, this way.
Yeah, I always made me wonder, how do people like who have been shunning their daughter, son, sibling, whatever for a long time, like you hear these stories of people being disfellowshipped for decades.
Hmm.
When and if that family member leaves the religion and they go into the real world and they get to talk to that person again, like how do you ever recover from that? How do you like compensate that mentally? Like I was, because of this religion, sure, the religion was doing it, but like I was also participating in that and shunning, my daughter, my son, my brother. Like, how do you live not having spoken to them for that long?
Right. You feel guilty, you feel sad. So after like a few months, you know, she came back and we were texting, we were calling again. And then I told her,
Mhm.
listen, I forgive you. Like, I don't care, you know, because I know you're just indoctrinated. You just need time. And
Mhm.
you know, you have to be willing to open up your heart, because first you feel like, you know, oh, they're fake. She's only talking to me because she don't have nobody. And it's like, no, we need each other. So let's work together. And then that's when I promised, like, I'm never going to shun you. You know what I mean? No matter what you're going through, you can always call me. I'm never going to treat you this way. And then, you know, we just have to spread the love, you know, like
Yeah.
assure them that I love you and you love
Mhm.
me, right? We're family. Like, let's not forget this.
Yeah, I guess being on the outside, it's like you have to set the examples. Like, listen, we're not like the witnesses. We don't have to act like that anymore. You can change and develop and be a better person. We don't have to follow those strict, culty rules anymore. And then yeah, like people on the outside, we have to be here for each other because only we and few others understand what it really is like to be on the outside and go through those kind of issues. It's like so niche, not many people understand it. It's hard to explain it to people who are worldly.
Right, right. Oops. Oh, that's my cousin calling me now.
Oh, that's cool. You can answer it if you want, and then I'll talk about this
Go,
comment.
yeah, you could read the comments. Okay, hold on.
Okay. It says, as the comments, I didn't know an elder's wife was DF'd, and I kept trying to say hello to her, but she kept dodging me. I realized she was DF'd and was announced and reinstated. Yeah, that is that happens, and I'm surprised that an elder's wife could be DF'd and the brother would still be an elder. So that's kind of surprising because a lot of times an elder would maybe they wouldn't be considered a good example because they're having marital problems or because there's some sort of rift in the household. So that's actually a really really surprising scenario. Usually, a lot of times the elder goes down with the wife, or vice versa. The wife goes with the elder, and he could get rid of his privileges to be able to help his wife. So that's interesting. It kind of reminds me of when I was one time at a meeting. I went to say hi to a brother, and the brother like scooted past me, and he was like, you can't talk. I'm reproved." The elder stepped down. Okay, you see, yeah, that's what I thought. The elder would step down. Um, but like like, what is it, the scarlet letter? Like, how are witnesses supposed to know? Like, humans are just humans. You see a person, you don't think, oh, what's your status, what's your this or that, so
Right.
this whole disfellowshipping, disassociating thing, it's only for witnesses. This doesn't translate into the real world. It doesn't make a difference in your job or in reality. It's just only Jehovah's Witnesses. um we have a comment from King Tony. That's an awesome name, King Tony.
That's my
Yeah.
cousin. She finally entered the chat.
Oh, hey, good to meet you. Hi, Golden Pizza. Hello, and welcome to the chat. We're doing just a we're talking about whatever. We're answering questions. We're taking comments, and hopefully your hand gets picked. But yeah. Oh, look, the elder's wife was overusing alcohol. Oh wow, dang, the T with the JWs. The elder's wife. Usually it's the elder themselves. Elders are known to have drinking problems.
Mm.
There was one elder I went to, there was a party, and one elder, he like got a little tipsy,
Hmm.
and all the other and he was a known alcoholic before he was a witness. So all the other elders were giving him like the stink eye, and I was like, man, this brother's treading on, thin ice.
Yeah, bendito. I
The
feel
ay
bad for them, you
bendito.
know.
Huh?
I feel bad for them, that's what I was saying.
Well, the thing is that the Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't offer, like, alcohol is one of the few things that pleasures that they can partake in, right?
Right.
Um, and there's no recourse, there's no resources for witnesses, and witnesses are known to have depression, struggle with mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
So you have mental illnesses, and then you have this history, like the elder, for example, alcoholism, and even if not, like, the organization makes it to where you can't have friends on the outside. You have a strict regiment, preaching meetings, association, preaching meetings.
Yeah, you're depressed.
You're
You're
depressed. It's
just
boring.
depressed. Yeah, yeah. You have
We're
no
not meant to
light.
live like that.
Right. Exactly. You know what I was gonna tell you? The
Hmm.
the the elder that I don't know if you've seen it, but the elder that went on Lloyd Evans's channel, Chaka
Oh,
Yumba.
oh, yes, 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 yes. Like, is he like a
Yeah.
African or Haitian or brother or something? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So his story, like I did a recap and I did a video about him because I was like, I feel bad for him because he said he was getting anxiety attacks, panic attacks, and he didn't
Mm-hmm.
know why. Like he felt like he was getting heart attacks. And it's like that's how we feel sometimes. We feel like something is physically wrong, but it's like something so heavy on you. And then when he became a psychological therapist or something like that, he identified the red flags that he was having emotionally. And it was like if it wasn't for that, that was like another awakening for him. And I am so excited. I am interviewing him tomorrow.
Wow, that is so cool. We are really, really, we're all these, like, if when you're a witness, you never get to hear the other side of the coin, right? The other side of the story. But hearing
Hmm.
these stories of like these ex brothers, ex witnesses who left the religion, like, how could you listen to that and be like, oh, but they're just apostates, they're this or
You don't
that.
have empathy
No
for them.
empathy.
Right.
Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah. Rack the commented, I'm a PMO and still talk to a few DF friends. When it helps is they were different congregations, not in the hall I attend. Oh, you were playing sneaky.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If someone caught you doing that, you yourself could be reproved for having bad association.
Yep.
I'm contacting the elders as we speak. I wonder why we struggle with mental illness. Could
That's
it
what
be
I said.
repression?
Is rampant within the Jehovah's Witnesses because it's untreated. Like majority is just untreated or they are on medication, you
Hmm.
know? So
Yeah. A surprising amount of witnesses. There might be some statistics on that, but I think that a surprising amount of witnesses are on antidepressants,
mhm.
uh, and take medicines for that. Um, the elder and his wife were Bethelites. Oh my gosh, and she was an alcoholic.
It gets juicier.
It really discourages looking for outside resources and help for fear that it teaches you. things they don't approve. Really
Mm-hmm.
discourages resources. Oh yeah, the um, what was it that where uh they everything that isn't pro Jehovah's Witness and talks about them in any negative light, regardless of how factual it is like apostate.
Mm-hmm.
So you trying to get help, and then the help be saying like, oh, if if you're living through this, then change it. And then it's like, well, if I change the way I'm living, I won't be a witness anymore. Then maybe being a witness is the problem.
Mm-hmm. And they don't want you going to therapy because what are you going to say in therapy?
Yeah, the therapist might. I've been to therapy a few times,
Mm-hmm.
and I get the vibe where it's like the reason you have some of these issues is because of the way you were raised.
Right.
When you're a witness, you're taught like, oh, I'm a good for nothing slave, right? That's what they would say. That everything you do is for Jehovah's glory. Even if you do a good job, it's not because of you. It's
Right.
because Jehovah gave you the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm. But you have that anxiety because you represent Jehovah. They say to be a Jehovah's Witness 100% of the time. When you're in
Hmm.
school, when you're at work, when you're outside, you represent Jehovah. So how you look, how you talk, how you act, everything. So that's the
Hmm.
anxiety because you have to be perfect. You just always have to be perfect.
Yeah, and speaking of like how you look and how you talk, like you couldn't even be free to express yourself. So if you're not free to express yourself with people that the few people that you can consider friends, like when are you going to express yourself? That's like repression.
Mm-hmm.
Some brothers wouldn't even wear T-shirts with like logos on them and would only wear like plain shirts because of that.
Oh yeah, that was me. And it looks
Ugh.
culty. Now that I look back at the pictures, my mom used to make me wear shirts up to my collarbone, you
Hmm.
know, over the knee, solid colors, baggy, so that you don't show your body. And when I was like a preteen, I was like, no, this stops right here. I'm not dressing like this. Like, are you?
Hmm.
No, no. I want to look good. I want to
It's
wear
so
makeup.
it's so boring. That's why witnesses have that a certain look to them. You can pick them out.
Right.
They're plain Jane, simple haircut. At the time, no beards. Uh,
That's why the beard situation is so it
mhm.
makes me angry because I'm like, where's the standard? There was a standard. You know what I mean? Even the
Yeah,
counting of the hours. I had to slave when I was a kid, counting hours and counting how many books I placed, return visits. And now all these people got to do is check a box. No,
they have
no,
it too easy.
exactly. And I'm sorry. If I had to go through it, you got to go through it.
Yeah, if you're gonna be a Jehovah's Witness, you should at least be reporting your hours, and at least those hours should at least be 10. That should be the minimum.
You got to work for everlasting life. It doesn't come
That's
free.
you got to pay your way into paradise. Okay,
Word.
I'm surprised with the direction they're going because I figured they would go stricter, but it seems like they're going looser in the religion
Right.
with some things at least.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, King Tony. LMAO. Yep, correct. We're just gonna blow through these. JW is used to strongly discourage AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, right?
Yeah.
And psychiatric care. They have lightened up. Yeah, there was that experience in the like a convention or something with that
Mm-hmm.
African American sister, and she said that she was seeing like a therapist. She was like a nurse, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I remember them saying that if you wanted help, the best help you can get was like the Watchtower.
Mm-hmm. Pray to Jehovah.
That's right. Pray your depression away.
That's what my mother did.
I mean, hey, I mean, if it gives you results, but the proof is in the pudding. There's really uh high percentage of depression in the witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
The way I get away with it is I tell no one, it's not their business, and why put myself through unnecessary drama for being a human.
Right.
Exactly. Uh, witnesses witnesses have high standards that they try to keep on themselves, but then they also put that onto other people,
Mm-hmm.
and the standards aren't their own. They're from out of touch, overindulgent men in upstate New York who like from their ivory tower can make changes off a whim.
Right. But
Mhm.
to be honest, I tried therapy too. Like I tried to go out there and like talk about it, but for me, it just didn't work. Like I
No.
can't explain something to somebody who doesn't know the religious trauma that you've been through. And I
Hmm.
didn't know that you could actually find a therapist that deals with cults and like religious trauma. You know what I mean? There's different
Yeah.
fields of things that you can find somebody that you can actually talk to. But I haven't tried yet. I'm just saying. Is
Uh, Therapy is not for everybody.
right, right.
It isn't, and and there's different ways to do stress relief or to help you. Like you don't have to spill your guts out to a guy.
Right.
Um, Watchtower have to save the membership.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess loosening was probably the right direction. And when it comes to the hour requirements and the beards, I think next
Mm-hmm.
to go is dresses. I think they'll allow sisters to wear pants at some point. I just think it'll be a while. What do you think?
Mm. You know what? Actually, I don't know if I told you this, but one of my uncles, or I don't know if you've seen the other live that I did, but one of my Jehovah's Witness uncles was recently disfellowshipped, and we just reconnected a few days ago, and we had a really good phone call for like an hour and a half,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm so sorry it took this long, but I just didn't know like how to approach it because I don't know if he still believed. But now that I know that he's like fully awake and he's been waking up and everything, he found my channel and I almost died.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think we either talked about this or saw this, but this rings a bell. This rings a. I
Yes.
remember you. I remember this coming up, and we said like maybe he's watching the stream now. He could be watching right now as we speak.
Lord have mercy. I was dying because I was like, oh my God, he found my channel. I'm going to be an apostate. It's going to be official. Oh my God. And and I was like, I'm going to have to call him. Like I was so nervous and stressed for the whole day. So I called him and we had a great phone call. And I was like, I can't believe it took this long, but this is what brought us together. Like even when we were witnesses, we were never close. And that was
Hmm.
one weird thing, like for me. My mom really never get close to other Jehovah's Witness family members. That's how strict she was and like so isolated, raising me.
She was
It was
overly strict.
overboard. And he was an elder and he had daughters. So it was cousins that I never knew, an uncle that I never had a relationship with until now. Now that we're both out of the religion, now I get to have a relationship with him. Like, isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. It took you both leaving a high control group, a cult, to to
Yes. And then when
to,
he
to
commented, I was
communicate.
like, let me call this guy. And I've never spoken to him in my life. And this is my uncle. So we
Mhm.
had the conversation. And when he was telling me how much he's woken up and then just seeing me on the internet, he was like, oh my God. And he was like, you know what? You should ask these questions. Or he was giving me advice on how to do my own channel. And I'm like, yo, what? Oh my God. So he told me to even ask Chaka when I do the interview with him tomorrow
Mhm.
about the 10-year plan. And I don't know if anybody else knows about that, but he was talking about major changes that are going to be coming out. Like it's not announced yet, like it's not official yet, but
Mhm.
there are going to be some changes that most of us have been predicting. And the beard stuff was just the first thing. So now
Mhm.
that you mentioned like about the dress and grooming, I was
Mhm.
just about to tell you that. Like he revealed some gems with me. I was like, no way. And he was like, yeah, in the near future, we're gonna hear some major changes. So you should ask Chaka when you do the interview with him if he knows about it.
That would be interesting to hear. 'Cause I have some thoughts on that too. On there's gonna be some changes that I think the thing is about these changes. I don't know if it's waking up people
Mm-hmm.
or if it's just being people. Or because I remember when I was a witness, when some change happened, I'd be like, "Oh, look, Jehovah's making it easier for us," or
Right.
"Oh, look at Jehovah's blessings," or something like that. You kind of like work it in your head.
Oh, somebody said my guess they'll allow birthdays, but without the cake and candles.
That might be true. It sounds so stupid, right? It's like
I don't know about that because that seems really pagan. So I don't know. You know what I mean? It sounds a little bit too pagan, too pagany.
I always hated that stuff. Like just because something's pagan means like you can't like associate with it. Like everything has some origin in something that we don't know. Like everything comes from everything else. So like witnesses draw the line wherever they want to draw, it. Um, my theory. One of the
Mm-hmm.
things I think that they will do, the
Mm-hmm.
organization, is reduce the amount of meetings, maybe one a week.
No.
I bet you. I bet you.
Really? We
That's what
should
I
put our
think.
predictions. Everybody put some predictions in the chat so that we can see
Oh,
what you guys think.
is there a way to do a poll? I would love to do a poll. I don't think so.
You can, but you would have to figure that out
Shoot,
with
I'm
the
so
chat.
bad at this YouTube stuff. What
But I
what
want
am
to I
I?
want to see what you guys think first before I drop some nuggets because I do know of some of them that my own uncle told me.
Yeah. That is so interesting to think like the religion that you grew up with and it's like so like strict and stuff is like loosening when you're out of it. It's like, why do y'all have it good? Or at least better? Let me see. I would die if there was such an enlightenment in the future where women can wear pants. Hey guys, big news coming in Jehovah's Witness. The bare minimum is about to happen.
Right. Because you could wear pants, I would assume. Like if there was somebody who was really protesting, you could attend the Kingdom Hall with pants. You
Oh
just can't
yeah.
have a part or a
Mhm.
privilege. They would like take us off the stage and say, hey, your skirt is too short. You can't do the part. So we're gonna
Mhm.
have the B school, women come up to the front of the stage because their dress and grooming was better than yours.
I've seen an elder when the sister was going up the stair, like up the stage, the
Mm-hmm.
platform to give a part, go like stop the meet like the thing, go up to the
Yes.
sister, pull her down,
Yes.
and then there was like a ruffle. You could hear whispers, and then another sister would come up. They would like reset the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what's your biggest concern or fear about being an apostate? Oh, that's a good question.
Who said I was an apostate? No, I'm just kidding.
Right? Now that's
No.
just apostate lies. That you're an apostate, that's
Word, you spreading
apostasy.
rumors, bro. That's gossip. But you know what? The thing is, it's not official. You know what I mean? Like I was telling her yesterday. I'm like, how would they know? How would those
Mhm,
elders know? They don't know me. So if my name is coming up in conversations in congregations that I've never even been in, but they know my family. You see what I'm saying? So it
mhm.
trickles like whatever I do trickles down to the family because
Yeah.
we're linked. Unfortunately, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like North Korea. Just because you make a mistake, your whole family's gonna go to jail. Like,
It's a lot like North Korea. Even the imagery,
right?
like the paintings, are like just like the North Korean stuff.
Oh my god, that's so true. Yes.
Yeah, you see them like pointing at like in North Korea, they're pointing at this beautiful land full of flowers and gardens, and the only difference is like you see the men in that green army attire. But
Yep.
if you take that away, it looks just like JW old school, like the yellow
Right.
book, what was it that like my book of Bible stories, that kind of like images.
Right. So I don't really care about it because I'm like, they don't know me. Like,
Mhm.
what are you saying? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I've gotten to that point too where I don't really care too much either.
Mm-hmm.
And I can guarantee like where I work there's witnesses and they're not all. I work in healthcare, so there's a ton of people there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really think. I think they know, but I don't really care, and no one ever talks to me anyways about religion. So when
Right.
when a witness has to talk to me about something, it's always business first. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know, but I'm with you there. It doesn't matter. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't affect your real life. It
Right.
it's all their religion. It's only them.
Right.
I heard of the 10-year plan, but don't remember where.
Mm.
There's something to that.
Okay.
Correct. If you think about it, the only real pagan connection they made to birthdays was candles and gifts. They do allow cakes for weddings.
Right.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And so many things already have pagan origins. Wedding rings have pagan origins. Pinatas, they allow pinatas.
Baby showers.
Baby showers, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're preparing for tribulation.
Mm-hmm. The last days of the last days of the last days.
Oh, that's something I heard. I heard some witnesses believe that they're loosening things because they're preparing the witnesses to look like average people for the Great Tribulation.
What? Like to blend in when they start
To
knocking on our doors,
blend in,
like
yes.
Nazi Germany, so we could just
Yes.
blend in with her? No way! Stop it!
Doesn't that make sense though? Like I would have thought the
Wow.
same thing if I was a witness.
Oh my! I didn't even think about it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! You just blew my mind right now.
Yeah, that's the kind of reasoning that you get when your group is so insular that you're having to like make excuses for why you're seeing all these changes that you thought were true.
No, I thought it was just like because of the young people, like a lot of people are leaving because it's too strict. So to bring more, Gen Z, to bring Gen
Hmm.
Z, Gen X, Gen Alpha, whatever you want to call it, to bring them in, you have to loosen up.
It's that's true. Also, it could be a little bit of anything, and they don't the governing body don't like explain everything. They just do stuff. So it's up to the
Mm,
witnesses, and then they make whatever answer they want. Sometimes.
okay.
No, they are already preparing us to have our own meetings with our own family home for when the tribulation begins. Oh, you see?
Mm,
You see?
mm,
I'm telling you. When the meetings went to Zoom, I was so happy because you could wear sweatpants. You could just turn
mm-hmm,
off your camera and watch YouTube in the meantime.
mm-hmm.
I was almost removed from doing a part because my skirt was half an inch above my knee.
Yeah,
Oh,
happens all the time. They would check your dress when you walk into the Kingdom Hall. They would make sure you're dressed correctly, and they're like, "Okay, sister, you good? Can't wait for your part." Or if not, they will be like, if you don't change or whatever, we're gonna have to get the plan B sister to do the part for you.
the Plan B sister. Oh my gosh, every congregation that I've been to, there was always like the Plan B. It's like the elder's wife or something, right? That
Hmm.
just in case there wasn't anybody ready for the assignment or they didn't show up or something, the elder's wife or whoever it was
Right.
would be the person doing the assignment,
Yeah.
the go-to person. Hmm. Let me see. God, I hope they have sisters read for the Watchtower. A lot of brothers who read sounded functionally illiterate. That's so interesting. Like, I wish we need. I want to do. I wish I was smarter, but there's like a JW cadence. You know what I mean? Like the way Jehovah's Witnesses speak,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a way that Jehovah's Witnesses read, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there could be a brother who wasn't a witness until later in life, and they read completely like a normal person,
Mm-hmm.
and then the brothers would be like, he's not a good reader, but he's reading like
Mm-hmm.
a normal human being, not like a JW robot. But then when you go up and you're saying brothers, when you read the Watchtower, like as a
Right.
brother, and you'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, brothers, how interesting is it that Jehovah gives us strength? And then they would be like, you did such a good job, and you were just doing the JW robot cadence.
Right. It's like
So
a drama reading.
yeah, like
Yeah. Mad dramatic. I know my mom used to really do that to me. We would be reading for
mhm,
hours and hours and hours. We would be singing the songs. Like that's how crazy she used to get. When we were done studying everything and there was nothing else to study, because she would go
mhm.
like months in advance of studying the kingdom ministry and stuff. And when everything was done, she would say, "Okay, we're gonna practice all the songs for every week. We're gonna practice reading everything. We're gonna do everything that you don't have to do." She did it, and that's how we would practice.
Would she do you remember when there used to be the at the end of the month, I think it was, when we had the
Hmm.
old Kingdom ministry, that
Hmm.
you would have the Bible texts all in a
Hmm.
row, and you would answer questions, like it'd be like over what you went over the whole month or something like that, or the whole book of the Bible.
Oh.
The Kingdom Ministry went through so many changes. I forget when it was, but it was like probably a decade ago. Would she
Hmm.
be one to be like, okay, let's read the Bible and then let's look at the whatever it was,
Yes.
insight on the scriptures, the quote
Hmm.
that it would say there, the citation, and she would look at
Yeah,
through
she
that
did
to see the
everything. And
answer.
she would make me write out everything too. All of the scriptures that was cited, I would have to physically write all of them on the borders. I would have to do the research. I would have to do literally everything. But like months in advance. Like she was legit crazy. We would do the weekly, we would do the monthly. If the annual checkup was happening, I think that's what you're
Hmm.
talking about. They do like a
Hmm.
recap and then they ask you the questions in the meeting. That
Yeah,
one, forget about it. She wanted my hand up at every single question.
that's, oh my god. gosh, that was
I
like
know.
I was so happy when they got rid of that because I
They
was
got rid
so
of that.
when they got rid of like you of that. I forget what it was. I have Old Kingdom Ministries here. I'm gonna look for it one day. But it was like a
Yeah.
recap of the whole book of the book of the Bible. So
The Bible
if it
reading.
took you
Okay.
the whole month of January, for example, to read Matthew,
Mm-hmm.
you would at the end of the month on that Kingdom Ministry, you would recap like some of the main points in Matthew. Um,
Right.
but I was so happy when they got rid of it because you as a reader, you would have to read like a bunch of scriptures on stage.
Mm.
Um, let me see. They do research. You're not hard to find, and that's really all they need is for a relative or brother sister to say something. I guess it's referring to like snitches,
Mm.
but snitches get stitches. Just saying. I've what is it? Is that your wife? I'm not sure what they're talking about. If they're talking about Rachel, who was in the comment, that's my fiance. But this is Ruby Quinn. We're friends. No, my question is more of if your family already thinks you or considers you an apostate, why would it matter to whether you the organization views you as one?
Because if the organization views me as one, then they will announce me. If the family does, it doesn't really matter. That's just their opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
if it is an announcement where I was not called, I was not talked to, no committee, like nothing, because they never called me back. I'm a lost sheep, guys. Okay, I didn't get a shepherding call. Like nobody called me, so it would make me feel some type of way, even though I don't really care about the organization anymore. But I'm just saying, don't mark me. Don't call me something that I'm not. Talk to me first. You know what I mean?
I take offense to the like blanket statement. Everybody being who's an ex witness is an apostate, because
Right.
an apostate is like a runaway slave. And you said technically you're a lost sheep because you never got DF'd or DA'd, right? As far as you know,
Right.
you're not DF'd, right?
Exactly. So
So it's so dumb. And then like me, even I still retain some of my views in beliefs in God, and I don't take a very literal view of scripture, but it's
mhm.
still a form of Christianity in a sense. But even
Yes.
though they would still be like, oh, he's a hateful apostate, and they lump me in with those like images of guys with tattoos and beards and buzz,
Exactly.
like everybody's an apostate,
Right.
which Darth Ligma says based.
Yeah.
And
Good
good evening.
evening.
Good evening. Um, at some point, the meetings will come to a halt. That I find hard to
No
believe.
way.
No,
I don't
I
think
don't
so.
think
No
so.
way.
It
Maybe
would.
not physically in a kingdom hall, right? But they'll do like the Bible studies again, but like congregations going to your local Bible study.
Yeah. There's always. I think even into 100 years from now, Jehovah's Witnesses, there might be like it might be a tiny little religion with only a few thousand members, 100,000 members, but even at its worst, there'll still be some form of meeting that people do to like indoctrinate each other. There's always going to be something, whether it's online,
Mhm.
in person, whatever the future looks like, I don't know. But for them to quit that, like, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't think so. I don't know.
I don't believe that. I had to switch skirts with my sister. No, that's so
Right.
embarrassing.
Because if you don't change, they're gonna just get another sister. So if you could find your same size with another sister or your blood sister, you better do it in the bathroom. Hurry up, because you got a part to do.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
It was so easy as a male to get ready for meetings. Literally like plain suit, plain shirt, tie. And then sisters like having to get these like really conservative dresses, not too much design, can't show
And
any
the makeup, my
shoulders.
mom would make me wash my face. Like, I'll get ready for the meeting, right? And then I would walk out the bathroom and she would be like, "What's that on your face?" And I'm like, "A makeup? Like, I bought the makeup to wear it. What do you mean?" And she would
Yeah.
be like, "You need to clean your face." And they would laugh at me. Like, one time it was my mom and my grandma, and I had put black eyeshadow. And that's a big no no. Like, you cannot have
Yeah.
black nail polish and you cannot have any black or like heavy eye makeup because you look like a
Hmm.
prostitute. But anyways, I
My
I
gosh.
had black and it looked so good. It was like the cat eye, and I love the cat eye kind of look, or the smoky eye. It was beautiful. So I had the black, the wave going on, and I had everything. And I walk out the bathroom, I'm ready, I'm feeling good about myself. And my grandma and my mom started dying laughing, but I mean like really hardcore laughing. And I'm like, what? And they're like, look at your face. Go back in the bathroom and clean your face. Oh my God, what made you think that you could go to the Kingdom Hall like that? Are you crazy? And that made me feel like they're laughing at me. Like, why are you laughing at me? You get a little offended, but it's your grandma, it's your mom, like,
Man,
but it
your
happens.
grandma is Puerto Rican as well, right? So, I mean, man, these
Full
Latina
blown Puerto
grandmas,
Rican.
so
Right? They'll
so
make fun of
rough.
you.
They make fun of you, and it's like you're like, I can't tell if it's mean or if it's loving. Like, geez,
It's
Louise.
both. It's both. They laughing at you and with you. But most of the time it's laughing at you.
Yeah, it's more mean than it is nice. But yeah,
Right? Yeah. I
literally,
was
they'd
like,
be like, if
damn.
like you can't win if you lost weight. They're like, you got to eat. Like, why you're so skinny, and then you gain weight, and they're like, why are you so fat? Like, there's no winning.
Yeah.
Hi, Darth. Like, hi, Darth. Oh, okay. JWs can use AI to read the Watchtower. They had cassette tapes reading the Watchtower.
That's a good idea, right?
Yeah, I think it'd be better. Honestly, it'd be more effective. I don't. Did you? I know that you did most of your stuff in English.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever listen to the old school Spanish cassettes of the Bible and when it had like an old Spaniard?
No, I didn't, but that sounds legit. That sounds
It
nice.
it was like, talk about white noise to help you go to sleep. Literally, like the way he talked was like, "Y Jehová vino la tierra, hizo una cosa," and you're like, oh my gosh, like he
No, my
can do
God.
it.
Even when I hear Spanish now, it makes me feel like nostalgic. Like it brings me back to when I was like a little girl. So I love to hear Spanish.
Yeah, well, that was not a pleasant Spanish. That was a sleepy Spanish. Everything is because they're preparing you for the ministry too.
Mm-hmm.
I I came up in the 80s and 90s. The speaking style has now become more robotic compared to how I remember. Brothers used to have their own individual styles. Now they all sound the same.
Mm-hmm.
That became a red flag for me. Yeah, it's it's the JW robot voice. Yeah, and all the
Mm-hmm.
brothers in the JW broadcasting,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you hear it the clearest, is in the broadcasting. Hello, brothers. Welcome to JW Broadcasting.
It's so cringy. I hate the web. I legit hate the website. Like I hated the whole idea of the broadcasting. And I was looking at my mom like, you don't see an issue with this? That they were telling us about the TV pastors and like we're supposed to be different, yada yada yada. And they have a freaking studio. Like
Hmm.
you don't see a problem with that? And my mom was like, oh, this is such a blessing. Oh my God, Caleb and Sophia, let's play it. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's
That
crazy.
that's funny because when that was the Caleb and Sophia was released in an assembly, right?
Yeah.
And I remember when we were there,
Mm-hmm.
they hadn't released it yet, but there was a sister who already had a copy of Become Jehovah's Friend, and I saw
Mm-hmm.
it hanging from her not her briefcase, her pocketbook,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "What the heck is that? Is that official Jehovah stuff?" And me and my family were talking like, "Is there a Jehovah cartoon? That's so weird." And then after it
Right?
was released, we were like, "Oh, yay!" But then like before I knew, when I thought it was something like, a brother made or something, I was like, "That's wrong." But then when the organization make
Right.
it, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my God, the Kingdom Ministry so old. Is it? Now that makes me feel old.
Right? That's what I'm telling you. I feel like a boomer. Like there's still so many changes that I feel embarrassed. Like, oh my God, I don't know.
I,
What?
I I don't remember so much of the Jehovah's Witness like lingo and stuff. I'll accidentally
Mm-hmm.
call the what is it, Christian life and ministry. I'll accidentally call
Mm-hmm.
it Kingdom Ministry because for the majority of my life, I would call it the Kingdom Ministry.
Yeah, but I'm the type to call it what it is. You change
Yeah.
the name, I'm not gonna follow that. I'm gonna call it what it is because that's what it is. That's how I grew up, and all of these I don't subscribe to the changes. So no, I'm gonna call it the way it is.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, too many changes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad my dad was lazy and sometimes studied with us. Yeah.
Spiritually weak though.
Spiritually weak,
Mm-hmm.
but that's awesome. The review section. Yup. And you couldn't wear anything that brought too much attention to you, or that would be distracting people's attention from focusing on the meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, so it couldn't be too colorful, not too many like designs, flowers, stuff. It had to be kind of plain, simple. God forbid you wore something that wasn't a plain T-shirt and a long skirt. I raised eyebrows because of my style, and I when I wore colorful stockings, sisters would literally ignore me.
Oh my God, yeah, stocking gate. I when I started buying stockings, because I noticed like there's a whole world of stockings. Like there's fishnet, there's designs, there's like a
Hmm.
bunch of stuff. And when I started getting into that, oh, my mom was like, "Nope, get away from that. Like you look like a whore if you have these stockings that are like, have a fishnet or like a
Why,
design."
why is it that anything that is like considered worldly is automatically for witnesses whore or prostitute? And most of the
That's how
time,
being a
in my
female is.
experience, is prostitute.
That's exactly how being a JW female is.
Even my mom would be like, "Parece prostituta," right? Like she looks like a prostitute. Talking
Right?
about, yeah, it's like anything that would be considered modest is literally prostitution. That's like the answer, the solution.
Or you're trying to catch a brother because you're showing your cleavage, you're wearing tight clothes. Like, what are you trying to do?
Mhm.
Marry a brother or stumble a brother? Like, who are you doing this for? I'm like, damn, I can't dress good for me. Like, I can't look good for myself.
How
It's always gonna be a
misogynistic.
man.
That's so misogynistic. Like you dressing up and looking good for yourself is like you're stumbling that brother. It's like, well, why am I stumbling that brother? He's the problem. He's the one looking. It's not my eyes.
Oh well.
Oh my God, yes, I've heard the Spanish ones. Yeah. And then they also said, "You're Hispanic Latino, where you're from." I don't know if I ever said this, but my mom is Puerto Rican. My father's from El Salvador. So mixed. But a lot of times I just look like a white guy. So I don't know if that works.
I say that all the time about me too. I'm like, they don't
Yeah.
consider me Spanish.
Yeah, because we're kind of pale,
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
my hair is on the thin side. They'll keep the weekend meetings or maybe the service meetings. The weekly meetings may go by the wayside. That's my theory.
Mm.
Weekend meetings make more sense because I've been to other churches, and most of them, the focus is on the weekend, like the Sunday service.
Mm-hmm.
And then the weekday meetings, like if anyone goes, it's not a lot, except the mega churches, because here where I live in Tennessee, there's like these big churches too.
Mm-hmm.
Those are packed all the time. Even on a Monday morning, you'll see like cars there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because those are like big businesses and they have concerts and
Right.
stuff.
Right. Exactly.
My theory is that eventually they will phase out people going on stage, just play clips. Yes, I believe that too. Think
Mm.
about how many more, what is it called, man? What is it, like when people go on stage, like assignments there used to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
There used to be assignments in the kingdom ministry when a brother would be talking about, look, this is the new watchtower.
Mm-hmm.
This is how you can, what are the sample presentations? And then
Mm-hmm.
let's see an example. And there'd be like two sisters going up and doing an example for
Mm-hmm.
the presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on a weekday, like a Wednesday meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And they phased that out. For now, it's just like the two robots talking to each other with the black shadow thing, like the outlines, where it's just like the outlines of the sisters like talking to each other in door to door ministry.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to check that out. Like what?
You know what I'm talking about? It's just like it's just like them shaded out, and it's like a little sample presentation.
Weird.
You
What?
know what I'm talking about? Um, but I believe that too. They probably will just go to like video clips. They did that for the dramas.
Mm.
They did it for the dramas. They did it for the sample presentations. Um, so I fully believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, nice. I did think you're blanquito. You see? Most of the time, just think I'm like a odd looking white guy. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh hey, June.
Hey, just June, welcome. I think you're looking for the word demonstrations. That's exactly it. I kept saying presentations. Here's the thing: in Spanish, you would say presentación. You wouldn't say
Right.
demostración.
That's the literal
So
translation. Right, right.
it's like I speak English fine and I speak Spanish fine, but like sometimes I get my wires crossed. So my bad. That's why I
Yeah.
say the stage or platform, and in Spanish it was like la plataforma. So
Mm-hmm.
I get all confused.
Mm-hmm.
And then you in Spanish you would say me voy a subir a la plataforma.
Uh-huh.
But if you say that in English, it sounds like you're gonna. I would say sometimes I'm gonna stand on the stage,
Mm-hmm.
but what you're trying to say is you're gonna go up on the stage.
Right. Oh my goodness. So yeah. So all right, we got a few predictions. So now I'm gonna tell you what he
Okay,
told me.
let's hear it.
So he told me the 10-year plan. He was like, we're going to start seeing some changes, right? And I'm like, what? And he was like, most likely what we're going to see is the blood transfusions. They're going to change their stance about the whole fractions and the whole thing about the blood transfusions. And they're going to be like, they're going to say, like, officially, it's just a conscience matter.
Wow. Okay, that's a big one. That's
Mm-hmm.
huge. The people who've died because of that.
Right. So that to me was like shocking. So let's just be on the lookout, okay? Let's keep on the watch.
Keep on the watch. No, just you see, we're bringing it back.
Oh my god, what am I turning into? Okay. Well, I'm going to keep on the watch to see if the organization actually makes that official change, or maybe they mention it or something. I don't know. But if it does mention, you heard it here first, guys.
Breaking news.
Yep. Okay, so that was one. The
Okay.
other one was that officially amongst the elders, they're gonna let them know to report CSA issues straight to the police,
That would be yeah, slow clap, because that again, that's also doing the bare minimum.
which should have already been in place and
Yeah.
implemented. But now it's like I think they're gonna make it official to direct all the elders to go straight to the police.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what he said. So I don't
That's
know.
that
We'll
should
see.
be a law. I'm surprised that the organization is saying that because it's not a law
Well, they
in
haven't
most
said
states.
anything yet. I'm just saying
No,
this is what he
I'm
told
sorry. I
me.
should say I should rephrase that. I would be surprised if the organization were to tell elders that, because it's not there's no mandatory reporting in most states.
Right. It's a state
S-
issue.
It's a state issue.
Hmm.
So I would be very surprised because of the fact that like very few people go by that. So if they were to make that like a rule now, and the elders
Hmm.
got in shepherd the flock or something,
Right.
that would be very surprising.
Right. I was like, damn, I think that I mean it's good. It should have already been happening.
That should
But
be
for
a
him to
law
actually
already.
tell me that, I was like, I really do hope that that's true. You know what I mean? Like I really do hope that we see that in the near future.
Okay, so that was the second one.
Yeah, that was the second one. And
Okay.
he also said some expansion. And then he mentioned the word for it, but I can't remember what it was. But I think they are expanding, like the buildings in upstate New York.
That's crazy because didn't they get like send all the what is it, the Bethelites to different states and different areas, like they at some point they like sent a lot of people home, didn't they? So
I
for
don't
them to
know.
expand with what resources would they do that? That's odd.
I don't know. I don't know if he meant like they bought land and they're probably gonna build more, like build
Hmm.
something else, or some type of expansion that was happening.
Okay, so that's the
Yeah.
third one.
So I think so. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what else he said because he told me to ask Chaka about the 10-year plan, and I'm like, I'm definitely gonna ask him if he knows anything about that.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was the blood, the CSA, and that. Well, that's what I can remember so far. But
Hey,
that's big.
hey, you heard it here first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, blood transfusions is a conscious matter, so we're not gonna get DF for transfusion.
I mean, he didn't
We don't.
specify. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's a possibility. But you see, the thing is with the blood transfusions before, like the most recent thing that I remember, like even with myself, they allowed fractions. So before it was like nothing at all. Then it was fractions, and your conscience if you want to take fractions or like make a decision, change your blood card, yada yada, get a new one.
Hmm.
Now it's like he made it seem like blood transfusions, no matter what it is it fractions, if it's a full-blown transfusion, it's just going to be a conscience matter. So I guess that's what it means, that they're going to take consequences away. I don't know though, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, that's such shaky ground. I don't know on that one either. Where would they stand though legally with the blood transfusion change? That if that were to happen, I can't even. That's the thing. It's hard for me to imagine that change, given the fact that so many people have died. So in the past, the Jehovah's Witness religion, like for example, they did say that organ transplants was like cannibalism.
Right. And then they
So
changed their stance on
and
that.
they changed their stance, and I don't think there was a whole lot of blowback on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So the blood issue though has been long standing. That's a long standing issue that has been something for so long, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if they were to just change that, imagine you're a witness whose
I
father
know.
died, your brother died
I
because
know.
they
There's
weren't
many of
allowed.
them. I
Imagine.
know.
No, no, no. I just looked it up. All 50 states do have mandatory reporting of some sort, just minor differences from state to state. Yeah. I'm wondering how the witnesses are able to like get away with it and the skill that they have for so long. You know, it's such an
Because they
issue.
consider themselves clergy, and in some states that is protected. So when they
Mhm.
try to cloak themselves as we're just any other type of religion, we should get the same privileges as those religions, because we can take confessions, and the elders can do all that. But you're hiding behind a law that doesn't even make sense, even for those. Like I would want to change the law for other religions too. It
Mhm.
should be everybody go to the police immediately. But some states, it's different.
Yeah. There's such a history of that too. It's been an issue for so long. Elders get thrown under the bus.
Hmm.
I was so thankful that I never got to elder. I was only a ministerial servant.
Hmm.
But elders, like man, they're like the front men of the religion. Like they're the ones that do the enforcing. They're the ones that are thrown on the bus. They're the ones that represent Jehovah's name, all that good stuff. But what's the prize you get? You get to be a prince in paradise.
Really?
That's what it was, I believe. That they say like the elders would be like the princes in paradise, something like that. Um,
Dang.
so no blood card either. I don't even carry mine.
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know. I do know that was one of the first things I did when I left the religion. I got rid of that damn blood card,
Yeah, that's a death sentence.
and I told my family, listen, like even my parents, who at that time they were still peemies. I was like, I don't care what happens. If I'm dying and I need blood, you give me blood. I don't care what it is. Don't you put your religion on me.
Yeah, that's why it's so important to pick like your proxy, to pick somebody to speak on your behalf. I couldn't
Mhm.
trust anybody with that. Like, like now that I think about it, even when I was a teenager, I was like, who can I trust to sign
Mhm.
this for me, to like
Yeah.
really uphold it? Because I don't know. I don't trust my mother.
I wouldn't trust her either.
Hell no.
She's
She
the
probably would let me
JW
die.
like that her whole world is the religion.
Yes. Crazy.
And the fact that the religion can have such a stronghold on people where it's like you live the religion, you breathe the religion, you die the religion, you know?
Listen, she used to tell me things like, even if I don't make it, you still have to keep going. Even if I don't, sort of like saying, even if I'm not a Jehovah's Witness anymore, or I don't serve God anymore, you got to take it upon yourself to continue, living your life this way. It doesn't matter who falls around you. You should stay focused and stay on the part. So even if you have to stop talking to me or cut me out of your life for Jehovah, you do it. Like, isn't that crazy?
It's like in the scene where it's like someone stumbles and like there's like a flood coming, it's like you go ahead.
Right. Don't even bother looking back. You just keep going.
Save yourself.
Yep. And she was like, if anything ever happens, you take the emergency bag, the duffel bag we used to have at the front closet. You take the
Mhm.
bag, you run, you go to the nearest Kingdom Hall, and you wait there for brother so and so. If nobody makes it, you stay there because that's the meeting place. We're all gonna meet at the Kingdom Hall.
these these are things that like nobody outside of the JW religion would be able to like really understand. Like the level of like as they said deep brainwashing
Yeah. To a
that
child, like I was really young, you have so much anxiety.
hmm yeah, and the way you've explained like the way that your mother brought you up, like the religion was so like ingrained into you, like really really you were preaching, what'd you say, sometimes 3 times a day, and you were homeschooled
Yes.
or something like that. So like, oh
Yes.
my gosh, there was no other
You
there's
want me
no
to talk about
escape.
that? You want me to tell you? You want me to talk about that?
Yeah, if you like, if you're okay with that.
All right, guys, listen, my mom was so fanatical that after we started homeschooling and I was doing virtual school, I was doing textbooks, I had 100% of my time dedicated to being one of Jehovah's Witnesses. It was so bad at one point that we were going out in service 3 times a day. We would do the early morning witnessing at 6 a.m. We would meet the morning group. Oh, wait a minute. No, 4 times a day because we would go to the 9 a.m., we would go to the 12 o'clock, and then we would go to the evening witnessing at like 6. So it was like 3 or 4 times a day that we would be going out in service until I protested and I said, I am not waking up at 5 a.m. anymore, going to these, isolated areas, truck stops, gas stations, laundromats, and risking your life out there. Who knows what's gonna happen? I'm not gonna do it. And then she was like, okay, fine. So I'll pick you up for the 9, or I'll pick you up for the noon.
Yeah,
And that was literally my life for like a long time, going 3 times a day.
regularly.
And I wasn't a pioneer, I wasn't auxiliary pioneer. This was just her way of raising me as a Jehovah's Witness. It was like
With
that strict.
You could have been a special pioneer, honestly, with how much you were preaching, probably
That's what
all
I'm saying.
day.
When I was counting hours, like I was slaving, I was doing the work.
Mhm.
I was putting in that time.
Did you ever? I remember looking at the totals in the yearbook
Hmm.
at the time and being like, "Man, I'm in there."
Yes.
I didn't know that a good chunk of it was you at the time too.
Yeah. Yep.
Just June says, when my family quit going to the hall and I was still a believer, someone told me, "Don't worry, if you make it and your family doesn't, Jehovah will wipe your memory and you'll forget about them." Whoa,
Not
I
sure.
know.
I never heard that.
I
I
never
have
heard that
never.
either.
No way.
Ju- just June, I'm so sorry because I've heard that. Now, what I've heard is that you'll be in paradise so long that you would have forgotten your family. Now that I have
What?
heard, but I've never
No
heard that
way.
like Jehovah will wipe your memory. And like logistically thinking about just the psychology,
Hmm.
if you have a family that you raised and then they die in Armageddon or something, and then you're living in paradise,
Hmm.
how do you would it really be paradise? Would you be living in paradise if you're unhappy without your family, because your family died? So paradise is wouldn't be even paradise. I always imagine paradise as being like where you have happiness and you get to live 1,000 years before Satan or whatever. And if your family's not there, it's not really paradise because you'll be sad because you'll be missing your family.
But you'll still have a chance to preach to them, right? Because they'll get resurrected, and then you'll have a chance to, preach to them, and hopefully they take it.
I'm not sure with the new life, but the way I'm thinking is if your family died in Armageddon, because then they wouldn't have a
Oh,
resurrection. So if your family died in Armageddon, that means you'd be sad in paradise. Then it wouldn't be paradise because you'd be sad.
but wouldn't they get resurrected anyways?
Not if they died knowing the truth and then didn't repent. There's no last minute repentance, and they died in Armageddon, which means that it was like judgment, like separation. I don't remember all of what it was, but
You,
if you
you got the
died in
old light.
Armageddon,
You got the old light.
I
That's what
got
it
old
is.
light. I
That's
got
what it
old
is
light.
because the new light is that you will still have a chance, even at the last second, at the
I
last
thought it
minute.
was no. I don't. I'm not super up to date on some of the new light.
I'm joking. No,
I'm
I
getting
mean, I think,
I'm getting
yeah.
my lights confused, but Sometimes this JW light isn't new light or old light. It's like that the blue light that you show that shows like the pee stains.
Oh
because
my
because
god.
it's just as bad with the light on as it is off.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I grew up thinking like I'm gonna be able to preach, even the ones who have, like, no matter what, when they die, when they come back, we're gonna be able to preach to them, and then hopefully that they will take it.
yeah. So I maybe I shouldn't comment because I've got my lights all confused now. I'm thinking maybe I need to catch up on some JW theology. oh,
Yes, you got to give everybody a chance.
it's funny hearing you two try to think out through the paradise scenario. Because
Yep.
legitimately, I would, as a witness, did you ever do that? Be like, okay, so dad, I would be like, dad, okay, let's say there's a brother who's born with, or let's say there's a brother or sister, whatever, born with a male and a female part. Like, would it be okay if they married this other person? And my dad be like, listen, son, you're coming up with scenarios that aren't gonna happen.
Right.
But like, it's like there's so many. So in paradise, right? So let's
Mm-hmm.
say paradise happens, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
brother who his wife died, and he remarries. So would he be with the first wife, the second wife, and then the second wife, like the wife who died? Let's say she's
Mm-hmm.
resurrected. She doesn't get to
Mm-hmm.
be with the husband. Would
Isn't that in the
she?
Bible? Isn't that story in the Bible?
Which one?
That's the exact scenario you're giving. That's in the Bible, isn't it?
I'm not too
An
sure on that.
illustration. An illustration. They talked about the seven husbands, the
Oh,
seven dead husbands.
yes, that
Yeah.
Jesus he answered, yeah, they did, but like, I mean, the question is like, also, like, but which one would he be with?
Well, isn't it death do us part?
Okay,
So
yeah. So I
I don't
guess,
know.
yeah, when you
They
die,
die,
then,
so that's the end of the marriage.
but imagine you wake up in paradise and you're like, okay, Charles, where are you? And then you're like, Charles is with Margarita, who was my service partner. Can you
Yeah, that's kind of
imagine?
hard. No, no, yeah. The last husband, maybe. But if he died, that ended the marriage. So I guess it's up to her to choose, right? Or maybe she could marry somebody brand new.
I
I don't
think
know.
she would be free to remarry,
Right.
but that's assuming in paradise there was going to be the marriage arrangement. Um,
Oh, that too. You know what it is? The new scrolls will be opened, so we don't know.
that's the JW get out of jail free card. Is that if you don't
Yes,
know,
sir.
wait for the new scrolls. I, I'm waiting. I hope there's some new scrolls that will enlighten me because I have burning questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hebrews 8:12. What does Hebrews
Mm-hmm.
8:12 say? I don't. Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Uh, Hang on.
But the
I'll,
next
I'll read.
comment she says, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, she was basically calling Hebrews 8:12. It was talks about God erasing your bad memories. What?
Really? Does the Bible actually say that?
Hang
No, I'm gonna
on.
have to look up Hebrews 8:12 now.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I haven't pulled up the JW app in a while. Um, and it's outdated or something. I'm not gonna
Every time
update
I go on live, I bring the Bible always comes up.
it. For I will be merciful toward their unrighteous deeds, and I will no longer call their sins to mind. But that's talking about God. Um,
Mm,
God, no, saying that He won't recount your sins, but not one witness to another
mm.
person's sins. That's
Yeah, for I will forgive their wickedness and will remember their sins no more.
hmm.
Your family's not a sin though. Like, damn. Like,
Yeah, that's rough.
how are we gonna forget our family members? That's crazy. No, I don't believe that. That's
And
crazy.
then that wouldn't even be you. So like, if God changed you so much that for you to
Right, right.
fit into, like, it fit into paradise, then is that really you at that point?
Mm-mm.
So apparently my husband and children are bad memories. Wow.
Nah.
Nah. Yeah, that's craziness. All I ever thought to myself regarding paradise was there's only one way to find out. For me, that's so ironic because I'm a thinking person. You want to know about paradise? Just
Hmm.
die first, and then go
No, what you
resurrect into
mean
paradise.
die? No, we're gonna walk into heaven with
Oh,
the
walk
last
into
remaining anointed
paradise.
ones. What are you talking about? What are you talking? We're not supposed to die. Not all of us are gonna die. We're gonna walk. We're gonna walk right in.
Assuming paradise happens anytime soon. Because I used to also have conversations with witnesses, and I'd be like, man, you know, things don't. I imagine time getting closer to the Great Tribulation, things would get worse. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, things have gotten better since the 1900s. So I'm thinking, when's the downward trend? When's the downward trend gonna happen? You know,
Oh, World War III,
World War
basically.
Three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
with Russia, the king of the North, or whatever it is now.
True.
Not putting too much thought into paradise probably kept me in longer. Yeah, that's the cognitive dissonance. You got to like ignore a lot of things and just make it work.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I never believed the paradise thing because they said that the dead are conscious of nothing, yet the dead know they're going to be resurrected. The contradictory doctrine. The dead know they're going to be resurrected.
Before
Shoot,
they
yeah,
die, yeah. I mean,
that's a good
before they
point.
die, you are conscious that you're gonna be resurrected if you're Jehovah's Witness.
The concept of death, that's the one thing that's like the worst part of leaving the religion, because I always
Mm-hmm.
imagined that when I was a witness, like as soon as I
Mm-hmm.
die, my eyes would open and I'd be in paradise, right?
Like an instant boom.
Yeah, like it'd be like you're dead and you're awake and look, here it is, paradise.
Right.
But I don't have that anymore. So like, how do you live your life feeling one way about the end and then having that
Mm-hmm.
taken away from you?
Yeah, I used to suffer from death anxiety. Like I would cry every single night because I'm thinking I'm gonna die one day. Like I'm mortal. Like before, I
Mhm.
used to be like, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna graduate high school. I'm not gonna do anything. And little by little, every single year around my birthday, I get anxiety attacks because I'm like, I'm not supposed to be this age.
Mhm.
How am I? How am I? No, I need to control my death. Like I used to think like I'm not gonna die, stupid. I'm not gonna. You will not catch me slipping. I'm gonna control my death because I need to
Mhm.
know when I'm gonna die.
You ever feel like it's like I'm gonna live forever because I'm so youthful and I have energy now? You know what I mean? Wepa, I
I'm
can do
supposed
whatever
to
I
walk
want.
into paradise.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna die.
No, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna ride on elephants and hang out with pandas and swim with the sharks. I'm not
Hmm.
saying she had it correct. It's just what she said. Oh yeah, I know. But we're saying like that's crazy. That's a witness who's supposed to give you like encouragement also tells you the worst case scenario that they could tell you. Like, oh, like this is like I'm sure the witness was thinking to themselves, I have something that'll help you feel better.
The worst interpretation ever.
The worst interpretation I've ever heard in my life of a scripture. The most unbased opinion. This is sounding like a soap opera. Which one? The what's
The
that
whole
like
convo about the paradise and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Watch how we used to say the King of the North was Germany. Yeah, I now is the current light where the King of the North changes, right? So the King of the North used to be something in back in Bible times, and then it was Germany, and now it's Russia, something like that.
Hmm. Or are
Um,
we still waiting for him?
I don't know.
I
See,
don't know. We need new light. I don't know.
we we need those scrolls.
Hmm.
One of the hardest things for me to explain to people after I left was trying to explain that I never had to face my mortality until I was in my 40s. It's something non JWs can't relate to. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And to some extent also, um, people who are in other Christian religions and denominations too.
Hmm.
Uh, there's people that are regular Christians and they believe that they're just gonna wake up, like they're gonna die and wake up immediately in heaven, right? And
Hmm.
that's kind of just as delusional because you're not acknowledging the real fact of death. That when
Hmm.
you die, like that's like boop, and nobody really knows what happens after, and more likely than not, it could be nothing, you know. So it's truly best to live your life the best way right now because you don't know what is then, what will happen then, but you know what's gonna happen now, right? You know what you can do now. you can't control the future, but you can control yourself in your current state.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's okay because according to the organization, you can find a replacement family in the kingdom. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Oh
your
my
spiritual
god.
mother, your spiritual father,
Yes.
replacements. Like, ew, what
Replacements.
is that?
There was that drama with the sister who's like hanging up on her mom who's like disfellowshipped or something, and then
Mm-hmm.
she's like looking at the kingdom hall, my my friends, and it shows like the lady, and then like spiritual fathers, and it's like a guy with a mustache and spiritual brothers, something like that, like these random
No,
people in the kingdom hall just replacing your
exactly.
family.
No, no, thank you. I'm sorry.
No. I heard Kingdom North is Russia. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. I
Yeah,
know
that's the new stuff.
I'm not gonna pretend like I ever understood that stuff. That the new the like interpretations of the prophecies. Like I never really understood that.
But that's what we were waiting for. It's like we're waiting for that King of the North to be revealed, and then that's how we know we're living in the last days of the last days. Because then that's going to be World War III. The world is going to go insane. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be like the end
Hmm.
of the world. People are going to be running around. There's going to be fireballs. Like that's when everything's going to start. And then we're going to see Jesus in heaven, and he's going to come down with his angels, and you're going to see the armies, and we're finally going to be saved.
Hmm.
Basically.
Yeah, I've never understood that the Bible's like so according to Jehovah's Witness beliefs, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
signs of the end, right? There's earthquakes, there's all these things that the Bible says are like signs. So
Mm-hmm.
apparently those signs fit into our times. But then this
Mm-hmm.
Bible also says that the end will come like a thief of the night. So if if um if the UN, which is supposed to be the
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it was, but if the
The
UN
beast.
declares the beast, yes, the
Uh
beast.
huh.
If
Uh
they
huh.
declare against like all the religions, you would be like,
Yes.
oh, well, I mean, obviously we're in the last days because there you go. So how do you have signs, but then also the end's gonna come like a thief of the night?
Because that's the beginning. These are the signs. This is what you'll be able to see. But
Mhm.
then it's right around the corner because the end is coming.
I, I, I just genius is so true. Yeah, I just can't. It doesn't fit in my head anymore. You know.
Yeah.
I remember watching videos of Paradise with people having fun and thinking, can't I just do that like right now? Like I can kayak in the river a few minutes from here. Yeah,
Exactly.
like people walking on the beach with their dogs, people playing volleyball together in khakis and buttoned up polo shirts. Like you can just do that
Hmm.
right now. You can go dress up like a goober and do volleyball on the beach right now if you want to.
Right. But it's only after you wake up to your mortality that you're like, I need to do everything now because you only have one life to live. So I'm going to do it all. I'm going to celebrate
Mhm.
everything. I'm going to go above and beyond to make memories, make the experience, especially with children. Like once I started having kids, I was like, how am I going to drag them to the Kingdom Hall and force them to sit for 2 hours and like, do what my mom did to me? Like and I was looking at my mom like, you really think I'm going to do to them what you did to me? Are you delusional? Are you crazy?
Mhm.
Was I not depressed? Was I not like losing myself even when I was a little girl? Why would I do that to my own kid? I wouldn't do that. And it was like, oh, you're spiritually weak. You're not disciplining him correctly. You're not teaching him how to be, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. And then when I kept having kids, it's like, why are you having kids? Why are you getting pregnant? They're gonna die because you don't even go to the Kingdom Hall. You don't even care about your own life, and your kids are gonna die because of you. So why do you keep having kids? And I'm like, you could have just said congratulations and just leave it like that. Damn,
No,
you
they
have to
put
tell me
salt in the
what you really
wound.
think.
Yeah, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? And the Jehovah's Witness religion has shot themselves in the foot, the leadership,
Mhm.
because they discourage people from having children.
Mhm.
That's where all their growth is. It's in the children. The growth isn't outside. It's all insular. It's all the people on the inside. So,
Exactly.
and then like in your case, you're like, I'm not gonna raise my child as a witness. Can you imagine? Like I went through all this trauma. Why am I gonna give them that?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
No.
I think the king of the north is Russia since 2019. The reason why Russia's persecuting JWs. Think about it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that too. Yeah, that
That
too.
that too. Yeah.
Right.
Only SJWs know how crazy the teachings are. Yeah. You don't even bat an eye. You just like kind of listen to it and like it just enters your head and you don't think about it. When you're a
Right.
witness.
Right. Until the argument comes up, because I used to tell my mom, everything that you're saying is good and okay because that's what you believe. But let's remember, Jehovah gave me free will. And if
Mhm.
Jehovah gave us free will to serve him or not, if I don't want to be a witness anymore, then I should be able to exercise my free will because that's what Jehovah gave me, right?
Mhm.
So, like, stop fighting me when I'm telling you I don't want to do this anymore. Because wouldn't it be in vain? You know how they say, like, it's in vain to just keep serving Jehovah just for appearances and just for like a social status. No, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be real. You're supposed to serve Jehovah with your whole heart, with your whole mind, with
Mhm.
everything. And you're not going to be getting blessed because you're just going for reasons that don't matter. So I'm like, do you really want me to serve Jehovah in vain, mom? And then she was like, no, but like you should want to go. And I'm like, but I don't. So obviously you're telling me to go against my own free will. And that's
Yeah.
wrong. If I go to an
That's
elder right now, he's going to tell you that.
that's true. Yeah, because you had to have the right intentions doing that.
Exact. The right heart condition.
The right
Right.
heart condition. That's the phrasing. The right heart condition. It's like
Right.
imagine if you had a job and you were in the job and your boss was like, "You're doing good work, but you don't like your job, so we're not going to pay you this check."
Mm-mm.
You'd be like, "What the hell? Like, I want my check." That's
Right.
essentially what paradise is. God's saying, "You've preached a lot of hours, you've helped people go into the religion, but you didn't have the right heart condition, so you're not going to go into
Right.
paradise."
Exactly. So you did all that work for nothing because it was done in vain. And then
Hmm.
when she had nothing else to say and the argument was like really high, like the tensions were high, she was like, okay, well, you know what? If you don't want to be a Jehovah's Witness and you don't want to go to the meetings, then you cannot live in this house. If you want to live in this house, you're gonna have to go to the meetings. And I'm like, there you go. There goes the truth. It's you. It's a you problem. Stop pushing the religion and masking yourself behind a Bible. Say that. And if
Yeah.
that's the case, then I will leave. Problem solved.
And it's if you're gonna live in a place where the religion is being a way to control you, is it's like
Hmm.
used against you,
Right.
then she's also contributing to the whole like wrong heart condition issue.
Right.
It would make more sense to like give someone the option, because
Right.
either they will do it or they won't. But if they do it and they have an option, then at least they have the right heart condition.
Right.
Craziness.
Hmm.
Exactly. Every single thing they show in these videos about what people can do in their system is being filmed now, so it can be done now. JW is
Right.
not allowed. They have to go in service. That's right.
Exactly.
And I've heard of some people who have to go to service 3 to 4 times a day.
Me.
I can't relate to that, but gosh, it sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. Hey, my parents were witnesses, but they were never like that crazy. They were
Hmm.
never that in. That we would do Saturday, maybe before or after the meeting on a Sunday, and then midweek, never. Like my parents never made me do midweek. If I did midweek, it was of my own volition, like I wanted to.
Oh no, my mom said even if we don't go out in service, we still have to sit for the group because we have to show support. So even
Mm.
after the meeting, you know how everybody books it, they leave the hall quick.
Yeah.
No, I had to stay there, sit in the group, do the whole presentation in there, and then when they say, "Hey, sister Tavares, are you gonna come out in service with us?" No, I'm just here for the group and just showing support, and then go home. And I'm like, seriously,
Oh my
seriously,
gosh.
yeah, that's what I had
That's
to do.
oh,
Yep,
that's such a
I had to
goober
be a
thing to
body.
do.
I had to be a warm body to make it look like there was more than what there is.
Oh, that's so lame.
I know.
Oh, I'm
I know.
sorry.
I had to, if I wanted to survive, I had to do it. And I was just praying for the day I turned 18, 18, 18, 18. But after she gave me that ultimatum, she basically kicked me out, at 17. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just call my father. And my father lived in New York. And then I took a flight. I went to New York and I was like, I can't do this anymore. She's choking me, like suffocating me. This is
Mhm.
this is too much. And then he was like, okay, you can live with me. Like, whatever. But then he left me at home and never came back. like Like he worked a lot. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah.
worked a lot. So I was just always alone. And even though I was 17, about to turn 18, it was still a period of time where I'm still a child in the mind. I have very a childish mentality because I don't know anything. I don't, I've never been left alone to my own devices. So it's like I have to figure out what to do. And my mom was such a helicopter mom after that, because even when I was in New York, she would call me every day, every day, every day. If I didn't pick up, she would call again, call again, call again. It was insane. It was like harassing me. If I went to the meeting, if I went out in service, did you do this? Did you study? Did you do that? And I stopped picking up her phone calls.
Yeah.
I,
So
I
she's
just had to stop.
so when she was with you, she was shoving the religion down your throat. But even when you were gone, she was still trying to shove it down your throat.
Yes, over the phone.
Just June said, "Good night. Gotta get
Good
up early. Hey,
night.
good night. Be safe and take care. Thank you for joining. It's always great to have you, Just June." Yeah, Jeff pronounces if paradise is like the congregation picnic, I don't want to be there. I'm good.
Exactly.
Deuces. It's true. My gosh, I'm sorry, but I mean those congregation like get-togethers were like sometimes some of the most boring stuff, With the Spanish congregations, sometimes you get a little more bit more seasoning, you know what I mean? You
Hmm.
get you get a little bit more stuff going on. I keep shaking my camera. Like sometimes dancing, sometimes music, sometimes like foods. But man, I've been to a couple of get I went to a couple of get-togethers in the English
Hmm.
congregation. We're talking like pizza and like Uno. Like what the heck?
Yeah, everybody sitting around, small talk, little appetizers, and that was the party of a lifetime. We had a great time.
The worst is when they only get like one box and there's only like one slice for each brother or sister. Like I was like, what are we doing here?
Oh my god.
It's
Because you don't
because
want to look like a glutton, you don't want to be a fat ass. So you just have to like
you
you
have
have
to.
to be polite.
Yeah, it was all literally just like it's all a facade. Just one slice of pizza because you wanna look skinny, and then
Yeah.
and then there'd be like one who's like we can split this one pizza left, and it's just one little measly slice. You cut it in half.
Yeah, no, I was like, "Mom, let's go. I need to go get something to eat."
Yeah,
Like,
we would leave and go to like Wendy's.
yeah, oh my god, yo, so many memories. Oh my god, you know what? I was gonna tell you too. Actually, when I had switched congregations, like when I was a teenager, and I wasn't going to like the hall. It was the same hall, but different congregations, so different time periods. I used to go to the Kingdom Hall twice a week because my best friend was still going to the West, and I was going to like a different congregation, but it was still the same hall. So it was like I loved my friend so much because this was the only person that I could hang out with and be with, because she's been my friend since I was like 10 years old to like 17, like the only friend that I've had for 7 years. And she was like, my mom would let you pick me up because I had my permit and I had a car. I was like the cool teenager. I could do whatever. My mom would let me drive by myself. So she would be like, if you pick me up and take me to the hall, my mom would let you pick me up and take us to go to the hall. And I'm like, but do you know what that means for me? That means I have to go to the Kingdom Hall twice a week, girl. What you mean? And her mom would not let her hang out with me if it was not going to the Kingdom Hall. So her mom was
Oh,
also strict, but not as strict as mine. And that's why we bonded so well, because I'm like, listen, we're both living in a military household. Like that's how it was for us. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make the sacrifice. I'm gonna pick you up. So I would get ready and I'll tell my mom, hey, I'm gonna go pick up my friend. We're gonna go to the hall. Don't worry. Like, and we couldn't skip, we couldn't play hooky, so we had to go to the meeting. So I would pick her up and I'll be like, listen, this is the time we have, so let's just make the best of it. Let's just go to the hall, we'll sit down, like this is the only time I could sit next to you, we could talk, we could catch up. Like that, they would only let us hang out if it was for the hall. And so I used to go to the Kingdom Hall twice a week for my best friend.
that's so lame. I'm sorry. That's so lame.
Hmm.
Witnesses are some of the lamest people to have on your side.
Yep.
Golly,
That's how bad it was.
like no freedom, no concern of your guys having a good youth childhood. No, it's all uh,
Exactly.
business religion only, and that's it.
Exactly.
And it's not fun to go to meetings. It's not like it's a good time. You guys can hang out and have a fun time. Do so. It's literally sit down and watch people talk all day.
Exactly. And then afterwards, we would go to McDonald's, get a cone, get ice cream. And then that would kill time so that we could talk and be like together physically a little bit more. And then I would drop her off home and then I would go home.
God, that's so boring.
And that's
Yeah,
how it was.
no.
'Cause she had a stepdad, so I couldn't go to her house because her stepdad wasn't a Jehovah's Witness.
You see,
Yeah.
the the one thing, and no,
Hmm.
still no, because you're like, oh, he's not a witness.
Yep. I only went to her house like a handful of times. In the 7 year friendship, I only went to her house a handful of times.
Mm. You see, witnesses also make terrible friends because
Hmm.
for anything they'll drop you too. Like if you're a witness and you are suddenly wearing too short of a skirt a couple of meetings in a row, you can bet your
Right.
friend's not going to be on your side when the elders take you to the back room and give you a talking to. Uh,
Right.
they witnesses are bad friends. They're not with you in las buenas y en las malas. Like they're not with you in the good times
Exactly.
or bad times.
Exactly. And she wasn't baptized. I was the baptized friend. So even though we were the
Mm-hmm.
same age, my mom was basically telling me like to police her, like tell her she's wearing this wrong or her cleavage is showing or this or
You
that. And I'm
see?
like, Mom, I'm not her mother. I'm her best friend. I'm not gonna tell her what to wear. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
tell her to fix her shirt. I'm not gonna tell her. And if her mother let her walk out the house like that and go to the Kingdom Hall, then it's fine with her mother. I don't have to police my friend or snitch or like do anything. Like I'm not that type of friend. Like you should know me. You don't even know me, and this is my best friend. I'm not gonna tell her how to live her life. Like what? But
Yeah.
it's just because I was baptized and she wasn't. I was the model, so I had to look a certain way so that she could copy me. Like I had to put the example. And
Hmm.
I'm like, no, this is a real friendship. Okay, this is not like a Jehovah Witness friendship. No, she was my real friend.
It's
We
because
talk
you were
about
the
everything.
spiritually mature person in your
Right,
friendship.
right. I was supposed to be. But
Hmm.
little did she know we were our true selves with each other. And I'm
Hmm.
not gonna be my Jehovah Witness corporate self with my best friend. Like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I did miss the Haitian congregation I was in. They knew how to have a good time, but English was lame. Yeah, I mean
Right.
that. I think that's the. I think that's the recurring theme is that like the English congregation just kind of plain Jane, simple, conservative, boring.
Hmm.
Other than they take out the beer, and then there's that one brother that talks about his self righteous position on alcohol. I don't drink alcohol because I don't want to tempt the devil.
That's a
Mm,
personal issue. That's based on your conscience.
yeah. I don't. There'd be one. There. That's true though. There's always one brother or sister that's essentially a party pooper. Like the party's already pooped all over, but there's one that's the major party pooper.
Oh yeah.
The boring older one or something.
Hmm.
In the English congregation, I never really. There was never really too many get-togethers. That's the thing.
Right. The Spanish, it was lit. They were having
Spanish,
parties.
especially in in bigger areas like New York or maybe you
Oh
know
my
s-
God.
s-
What?
we're
The
talking.
nightlife, the scene. Yo, it was the scene. And I was trying to get up in the scene, but I didn't make it because I got DF. But I got to see the environment. There was Jehovah's Witnesses DJs. They were making
Mhm.
parties. They would rent out the club and then they would do their own Jehovah Witness type of club.
Yeah.
And oh my God, what? Oh my God, you're bringing me so many memories because I almost went to one of those parties.
I've
Yeah,
I've
it was
I've
crazy.
heard of stuff like that. I've heard
Mm-hmm.
of because it's different. Like I said, it really depends. Even the Spanish congregation, because where I'm at, it's not like Caribbean. It's different countries. But
Mm-hmm.
the Caribbean brothers, like when you get like the brothers that are like Puerto Rican and Dominican and Cuban all together, oh, you're gonna have a blast. It's a
What?
great time.
I know. We could get in trouble. We could get in a lot of trouble. Because what will
Hmm.
go down in those parties would reach an elder later, even if it took 2 weeks. You
Yeah.
will get called in, like, sister, we heard about what happened at the party.
Hmm. Witnesses have to make their own clubs, and even then, they're getting in trouble. Like you have to make your own fun, and you can't even like have a great time in that.
Yep.
I was so scared of everything. I didn't have alcohol or music at my wedding. Ugh,
No, no.
get out of here. That sucks. I'm sorry. That
I
really
will have another
sucks.
wedding. Redo the wedding. We're gonna redo this.
We'll throw it for you, because that's we'll do something, because that sucks. I'm so sorry, but in all seriousness, yeah, like there was a brother who did a really nice wedding, nice
Hmm.
by witness standards. Here,
Right.
man, I'm messing up my hair, and he had a DJ, and it was a good time.
Right.
And the brother told me, he was an elder. He told me, listen, I know that I'm gonna have grief with the elders because we're gonna be dancing, like having fun, but I don't care. I don't care what they say. This is my
Oh my
wedding.
God. Word. It's your wedding. You're paying for it. Like,
Yeah.
excuse me?
And sure enough, on a Sunday, I saw him go into the back room, the sala B, like they say in Spanish, and
Mm-mm.
they went and talked to. He had a talking to some of the older elders, and they were complaining about, I'm sure, about the music being too loud or something. There was one brother who gave me grief for looking at a fortune cookie.
Stop it. You lying.
It's
Stop
like
it.
the funniest thing I've read in a while. For looking at a fortune cookie, I said the only fun he had was playing Bible Scrabble.
Oh my God. I remember those games.
Ah,
Your laugh is making me laugh.
oh my god, that's so funny.
It's so
It's like
stupid, right?
it's so
Like,
stupid.
how many times
Like
we eat Chinese food? Like, we from New York. Well, I'm from New York, so come on. A fortune cookie? Stop it.
Jeff, please, please keep going on with these. That's so funny, because the a fortune cookie is like the most. It's
Stupid.
I don't even know
Stupid.
how to describe it, but a fortune cookie is so simple. You couldn't even look at it.
You couldn't even read it, right?
It says, yes, it sucked. Yeah, I'm sorry about your wedding. That the way to put a damper on the fun, no music. Ugh,
I didn't even
yeah.
have a wedding, so if that makes you feel any better, I didn't even have one. It was a courthouse in and out type of thing. It was an appointment. No wedding.
I would say that I would rather have a courthouse wedding than have a lame wedding with people in it. Um,
Okay.
because at least no one's there to see it. At my
Mm.
wedding, we had a pre-recorded CD at the reception when Elder basically pressed play button and stand by the CD. No,
That's the safe way to play it. That's the safest
Jeff.
thing I ever heard.
That's number two. Like you have listen, Jeff. We need you to compile these, and we'll both make YouTube videos on this because that is hilariously like
Like
boring.
JW horror weddings, horror parties, stories.
iPod Shuffle, the DJ.
Oh man.
Imagine if a fortune cookie would make or break your chances of going to Paris. Like, bro, chill.
Yeah.
I, God is like right there, and He's like, I know that you've helped this many people go into the religion. I know you preach. I know you give assignments, and you fully believe it. But when you went to China Panda that Wednesday before the meeting, that's where you lost your privileges to go into paradise. I'm
But that's
sorry.
nowhere near like going to a medium or getting your hand read or something like that. I would consider as a Jehovah's Witness, don't do it. But a
Mhm.
fortune cookie, stop it.
I,
No.
there was a brother that his like family would hang out with ours, and he had like a teenage son like around my age, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when he stayed at my house, we watched a movie, and there was a birthday scene, and he was like, fast forward the birthday scene. There's
Mm?
witnesses that fast forward through birthday scenes as if it was like a sex scene in a movie. They would be like fast forwarding through it.
No, yeah, we would only fast forward like a sex scene, and that was it.
A birthday scene. It was Alvin and Chipmunks too. That's I
Oh no,
remember
no,
that.
no.
I'm a New Yorker too. I don't. This must be. I swear this cannot be New York City metro area. This has to be upstate. Please tell me this is upstate New York.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Let us know specifically because I'm from the city.
I find like I could be mistaken. I know brothers. I was raised in the New Jersey area, and
Mm-hmm.
not terribly far from what you're talking about. Um, and I've heard brothers from like Elizabeth, New Jersey, talk about a lot of like their parties had to
Mm-hmm.
be like the elders would vet the music back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
back in like the 80s and stuff, because they
Mm-hmm.
were way stricter then than they are now.
Right.
But this stuff, like I don't know, a pre-recorded CD, fortune cookie, like I don't the fortune
Yeah,
cookie,
that's I've never heard of that. That's crazy.
like you're just eating dinner and you can't God's judging you based off of your choice in dessert.
I mean there are superstitions, like Jehovah's Witnesses believe in like certain superstitious stuff,
The
like with the demons
Smurfs.
and stuff like that. Right, right. So to take it down to a fortune cookie, that's a little too far for me.
Oh my gosh, that reminded me that I just had like a memory pop up when I was a
Hmm.
kid. Parents wouldn't let me play with an 8 ball, a magic 8 ball.
Oh, right, because those toys are like spiritualistic kind of toys. Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
yes. There was a lot of things that are like restricted, like Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Oh
My
yeah.
parents wouldn't let me have
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pokemon cards.
Pokemon. Right.
My it depended how my parents felt on the Pokemon cards.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I could have them, sometimes not. The fortune cookie story and wedding was in Colorado. When I was in New York City, it was Brooklyn, Staten Island. They were in Brooklyn. The wedding was in Colorado. The Haitian was in Brooklyn. Okay, I see. So the sad stuff happened in Colorado. That I can believe. I can believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. There was a lot of things. My parents would allow us. I don't know. I know that you said you didn't have any TV barely growing up. Do you
Yeah.
remember
No.
Digimon?
No.
Okay, I figured not. But
I don't know nothing.
Digimon,
Sorry.
kind of like anime like monsters
Oh,
that people
absolutely
collect.
not. No. Yeah. No.
But Digimon, they were computers. They were like
Mm-hmm.
programs. So my
Mm-hmm.
parents would let us watch like Digimon because they weren't technically like it's like programs.
Mm-hmm. That could stumble somebody.
Oh, I'm sure it could stumble. Anything could stumble anybody. I grew up upstate. We always went to the Chinese restaurant for Christmas. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
See, everything's adding up. Uh, what things were you like growing up? Like that you would see it on the store shelves or something, and your mom would not let you have or look at. Like, were there things that were like prohibited that were common that a lot of kids have that you couldn't have? You know what I mean? Like things that you grew up with but you couldn't own.
Well, literally anything, because I didn't have anything. Like like I said before, the only reason why I had a cell phone was because my dad got it for me. The only
Hmm.
reason why I had a Nintendo DS, like when that first came out, I only had
Yeah.
one because my dad bought it for me, and I could only get games that were like about animals, like Nintendogs. Oh, I missed that game so much,
Nintendogs, yeah.
taking care of my puppies and everything. So those were the only games that I can have. But I didn't have, if it wasn't for my father, I would literally have nothing because she didn't have cable TV, no computers, no electronics whatsoever. Like that didn't exist in my house. I was growing up in the modern world, but like in an 80s lifestyle. Like the way
Hmm.
she grew up, basically. I
Yeah.
didn't have all that technology or any of that. I only had it because of virtual school or because my father bought it for me.
You didn't even have a fortune cookie, huh?
I mean, we had many fortune. We ate Chinese all the time. That's one thing that didn't stop us. We
But
had that.
that New York Chinese food, oh
Hmm.
my god, is so much better than we have here. Man, like
No,
where I
because you're in
grew
the
up,
boondocks. You in the boondocks. In Florida, like I'm in Tampa,
mhm.
we got some good Chinese places.
Do you uh, it differs depending where you live, but like our Chinese food here is like this like so like normal. Like you Google Chinese food, it's like that, right? Like average. But in Jersey, I remember it would be like Puerto Rican style Chinese food, and it would even have
Hmm.
like papas in it, like papas fritas, French fries,
Oh my God.
and they'd even
Stop
throw
it.
tostones in there. It was like,
Stop
yeah,
it.
we had Puerto Rican cuisine, like mixed Chinese food. That's what I
Where in
grew up
Tennessee?
with, huh?
Oh, Jersey. You said
In
Jersey?
Jersey, in Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Here, it's like really normal, like Chinese fried rice, spare ribs, stuff like that. And it tastes good, but we don't get like that. It's not the same.
Mm.
No Smurfs for us. I was around for the Kingdom Hall Smurf fiasco. That was around my childhood. I've heard stories of people being like, there was a Smurf that like was in the middle of the meeting walking in something like that. Like, what's the
What?
you ever heard the Smurf story?
No.
Something about like the Smurfs being demonic and they were like at a
Oh
meeting
yeah,
or
I mean
something.
I know that part. I've never seen those things either. I've never seen Disney. I've never seen any cartoon that came out like nothing.
And
I
you've never
watched it
seen
when
the
I was an adult.
Smurfs.
No, not really.
Wow. But the Smurfs are old, so I can understand that. Like that's a really old cartoon. It's like
Right.
60s or 70s.
Listen,
Um,
I only got up to Disney princesses. You got to give me some time. I had to learn the princesses, okay? Because I didn't know the princesses, and I felt so embarrassed because I was like, even for my daughter, I'm trying to like, oh, do you like this? And she's like, which princess is this? What's her name? And I'm like, I don't know, but we're gonna get her movie and we're gonna watch it together.
cut to the dial up. Right? You're like,
Yeah, it's hard out here. It's hard. I'm still learning.
well, now that you have like freedom, what
Hmm.
are some of the things that you weren't able to see that you are now like catching up on
Oh,
other than
literally
Disney?
everything. Yeah, I got Netflix first, and then I started
Okay.
watching everything on Netflix. Then I got Peacock, and then I started watching all the shows. I watched the Vampire Diaries, so anything that had to do with vampires, Harry Potter, Magical
Twilight.
World, Narnia, all that, Lord of the Rings, all of the like the series.
Hmm.
That's what I dived into. Because
Did
even
you
when
say
I was
Game of
still a JW,
Thrones?
Game of Thrones, stop it. When Game of Thrones came out, I was hooked. Like we were crying every week with like the rest of the world because I was already out during that time. So
Hmm.
definitely I was on that. But every
That's
other like
I've always wanted to
series,
see.
did you didn't see it?
No, it's on my list. I have so many shows that I've been trying to get to that I've never seen. Um,
What?
I
Okay,
know
next time we do a live stream, we need to do movie and show suggestions because that's what I'm doing now too. I'm trying to
that's a
catch up and
great
see what I
idea.
don't know.
That's a great
Right?
idea. Yeah, that's a really good
Yes.
idea. We could do that.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't read books like that. Like I haven't read the books of Harry Potter, but the
Yeah,
movies, yes, sir. I was trying to watch all of it.
the Harry Potter movies are good. And
Yeah.
honestly, did you say Twilight? Have you seen Twilight?
What?
Those
I
movies are
fell in love.
those movies are pretty good. I saw them last year, like again, because I had seen them when they were coming out in theaters.
Yeah.
Those movies are actually really good. They hold up pretty well.
Yeah, yep. I fell in love super late. But I try to go in like the fandoms, like the groups
Hmm.
on Facebook or whatever. Like I try to insert myself and I'm
Hmm.
like, this is the first time I'm watching it. But oh my God, I fell in love. Like I love the whole world, like the universe. Like I love these different types of universes. No, but when I was still a JW, when Hunger Games came out,
Hmm.
what? We went to the movies. We were like waiting in line. Star Wars, when the new Star Wars came out, we were trying to watch that. Like I was really trying to do it when I was a teenager. But now it's like I'm watching all of them like in order.
Hmm. The not the Game of Thrones, the Hunger Games movies. I really like
Yeah.
those. Those are fun to watch. Those are good
I
movies.
love it. And did you see the Divergent series? That too. It's like another type of Hunger
Mm-mm.
Games.
No, but I love those like those movies based off of books because I the Maze Runner movies, same,
I love
really
them.
good.
I
Fun.
love them.
They're fun. They're fun movies. I try to read one book a month. I have some good book recommendations. If we can talk about that too in
Oh
the next.
yeah, mira, I told you I was getting glasses soon, right?
That's
So when I
right.
get
Now
my
you can get into the
glasses,
books.
yeah.
You don't have to read it like this.
Oh my god, and they look so good too. I got like blue frames, so like with
Mhm.
my green eyes and the blue frames, oh, it's gonna be legit. You're gonna see a whole new me, guys. YouTube, you're gonna see a whole new me real soon in seven
It'll
to ten
be
business days.
That's great though. I mean, yeah, like there's so many good books that like I was too maybe too in or whatever,
Hmm.
to dabble into, but now like you have the you can make your own personal choice on whether you want to read it or not. But yeah, I freaking love books. The amount of movies you can watch now without fear of like being judged by a brother. Oh,
Right.
did Well, you didn't have any media growing up, so I guess you might not be able to relate to this as much. But growing up, my parents would have movies always. We always had like the thick TVs in the day,
Mm-hmm.
and like the big DVDs stacked, like in
Mm-hmm.
in the in the shelves around the
Mm-hmm.
TV, like like a
Mm-hmm.
big wood thing.
Yeah.
And my parents, when people came over, they would like close it, and like some movies that they didn't want them to see, they would like hide it.
Oh, I know what
See,
type of family you are, huh?
so my parents,
Okay.
they had we always growing up, we always had movies like Death Wish, The Matrix, the
Mm.
what was that series called? Dang it, with Matt Damon, and he's like
Oh,
he meets
Jason
his,
Bourne.
but yes, we
Bourne.
had a few of those
Yes.
movies. So like growing up, my parents wouldn't shy away from violent movies. It was just like
Mm.
realistic, like magic, because they were like, that's real life. Violence is real life, but magic is like demonic. I guess that was the logic.
Yeah, no, my mom never owned DVDs because that could bring demons in the house. And the
Oh,
previews in the DVDs could bring
yes.
demons. So we didn't own books like that. We didn't have any DVDs, nothing. So we would just have the TV and then we would have the DVD player like under the TV stand and
Mhm.
everything is just clear, blank. It's just like an open, minimalistic type of house like decoration.
Oh, yeah. That's you
Hmm.
see, that sucks. But I remember my parents hiding it, and sometimes they would forget a movie, and then
Hmm.
I don't know what it is about brothers that they want to like snoop around sometimes, and they'd be like, "What are you doing with this movie?" And we'd be like, "What the heck? Why are you looking at
What?
our movie
Excuse
case?"
me? What?
They did
No.
that with my video games. My games were like free game apparently, because we would all the time kids would come over, and I was always scared because I hate putting away my games because I'm anal and I like to put in alphabetical order.
Hmm.
So I would take out like my Call of Duty games and stuff and tuck it
Oh,
away. I know
oh,
I'm a sinner. I know. It's like Call
oh.
of Duty. I wouldn't. Now my parents drew the line at like GTA. I couldn't play GTA,
Oh,
but I
hell,
could play Call
what?
of Duty. I know. Don't ask me. I don't remember why, but I would hide them, and sometimes I forget, and I'd have like Dead Space or some violent rated M game, and the kid would tell the father, and the father talked to my dad, and then the elder. Oh, it was so annoying.
Yeah, my mom didn't let me play video games at all. I only
Yeah.
had the Nintendo puppies, and that was it.
To be fair, Nintendogs is a really good game though.
It
Like it
really is.
holds
I
up.
was kind of sad. I wanna rebuy it. So if anybody knows where I can get that, I want to get it.
Oh, you can if you look on eBay, you can buy like a multi cart, and it comes with like 1,000 DS games. That's what
Oh,
I
but
have.
but for the Switch, because I got the Switch.
Oh,
So I don't know.
you could probably get like a re-release on the Switch, I would think.
Hopefully, because they had a
Mhm.
they had a new version of it. It's not the old Nintendogs. They have like another one, like a
Yeah.
pet friend type of game. So I don't know.
And some of the Pokemon games now, they have
Hmm.
like where you can take care of the Pokemon too. So I
Oh,
don't know if you like,
let me know because my son likes that.
yeah, and the
He just
Pokemon
started
games, like
playing.
they're pretty big. There's a lot to it.
Oh, okay, yeah, because he just started playing Animal Crossing and he's addicted, and I
Animal
like it.
Crossing is fun.
Yeah,
It's that's like ASMR the video game. It's like peaceful. You build stuff, and then you like build the little
very
road.
educational. The fishing, the
Yeah,
building,
the
the
bug
money.
guy. You saw all the bugs.
Right. Hmm.
After I left, I started making a list of movies that gave me cognitive dissonance. That'd be an interesting discussion.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. Find
that's
my email and email it to me.
that's a great idea. I'm starring that because that is a great idea. Um,
Yes.
there's a there's that's a whole like video series that you could do of talking about of movies that somehow like tickle that part of your brain where the religion meets reality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I had a friend with an elder dad. His dad's advice: never ever tell people what entertainment you watch. Movies, books,
Exactly.
TV, sports, something.
Yeah, that's how my mom was too. She was like, "You keep those things private. Nobody needs
Mhm.
to know about that."
Yeah. That's another reason witnesses make terrible friends, because if I had told I never told my friends, "Oh, I play Call of Duty." Cuz you tell one witness that, then just cuz my dad was like cool for a JW dad, right? And
Yeah.
if another elder found out, it was problems. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you avoid telling people. A JW brother went through my bookcase and made comments. Exactly. Yeah, that's a thing. People would like snoop around.
What? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy. Like in the living room, you mean? Oh
in the
hell
living
no.
room. There was a
Oh no.
sister. Her name was Teresa. I'll throw her on blast. I'm not saying the last name, but her name was Teresa.
Mm-hmm.
And she literally one day was like looking, like opened up her thing, and it was like wood and like a glass door, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my mom even like tacked little fabric so people couldn't see through the glass.
Oh my
And she
god.
still
Like
like
what the
opened it
heck?
and was like, "What are y'all doing with this movie?" Like, oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Or just emulate them for free on your computer right now. LMAO. You see, now that's also a way to do it. The only thing is you don't get the same experience if you emulate like Nintendogs because you have to like rub the dog and like send little treats to them. So I don't. It's not the same experience.
Right.
I'm very pro I'm very pro buying the thing. Even if you buy like a fake version of it, at least you can play it on the DS.
Right. Yeah.
I would think phones have an emulator, but I don't know. I don't play games on the phone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think the emulator would be able to do the touch controls though.
Yeah. I got the Nintendo Switch, so I'm trying to like get into like the Switch world and like what games are good for that.
Yeah. The Switch has a lot of good games. Freaking Mario Kart,
We
Super
got that
Mario
one.
Odyssey.
Yeah, we got that
Um,
one. We got the rabbits Mario, we got the Super Mario Kart.
yeah. Oh, the Kirby game. Oh my gosh, I forget what it is, but it's that open world, like the open world where you go to like different levels. That Kirby game is really good. I really recommend that.
Okay.
I had a few psychology books, and that was a no. Psychology book.
Mm,
That's crazy. It's so
mm.
basic. You would think that's not a problem, but
Yeah, I took that in high school. Like that was a credit, you know?
yeah. Yeah, you got to use your mouse, so it's up to personal preference. That's not the same. I wouldn't do it like with the mouse, the Nintendogs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very pro Brian. I have every console in my childhood and more now. Mhm.
What?
Yeah,
Really? That's awesome.
I have a really big game collection too. I did get rid of some of the older ones. I even used to have an Atari, like 2600, like old school one button.
What? I
Um,
don't even know what that is.
it's like the original like Pong and Frogger, like those old games, you know.
Ah,
But
no, I'm gonna have to look it up.
but
Boomer
there's
alert.
the thing is, the TVs nowadays, everything's like HDMI and stuff, and you don't ever play it. But yeah, having physical media is so nice.
Yeah,
You,
the only games I played was like Sims, and I was so obsessed with like virtual reality because I couldn't live life in real life. So when I had virtual reality, I was living my life through my sim.
isn't that crazy that when you're a witness, you're thinking about what you would do if you weren't a witness?
Yes, and I was having families, I was having husbands, boyfriends, traveling
Yeah.
the world. I was going crazy in Sims. I was like, okay, I need to get my life together, even in the virtual reality world.
You're like I want to have a great life in this virtual reality, not in like real life.
Yes. And Village Life. I like those types of games. I had Village Life, the Sims, Diner Dash. That's
Diner
the kind of
Dash.
kid I was.
Yeah, Diner Dash was fun. I used to have Diner Dash on like my iPod Touch back in the day. And you just
Hmm.
that's the one where you just click on like the meals, you put it on the
Right.
table,
You
people,
can still
people.
play it on the browser. Like I came back to that and I was playing it on the browser. And Emily's Delicious, Delicious. I was doing it all. I
What about
love
Plants
those
vs
games.
Zombies?
No, I never played stuff like that.
Because of zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, that game was so fun. I used to love Plants vs Zombies.
Hmm.
I have an old Intellivision I still haven't fixed. Damn thing uses RF for video. I'm not entirely sure what RF is, but I used to have a Intellivision like a multi controller thing that you'd connect to like the RGB or something in the back of your TV, and it had like every game had the same like 5 sound effects. Intellivision is a lot like the Atari 2600, where it's like really old school graphics, like everything's boxy and pixely.
Yo, imagine if we do like an XJW gamers section,
Mm-hmm.
like playing online, and we could all talk to each other because I got the headphones with the mic and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
Ooh.
like what is that called? We're like like a chat, but with all of us and like playing one game. Like,
Yes, because we could
what
play online. We all come
what
together.
game
We could
would we
hear
all
each
play?
other.
What game would we all play? I wonder.
I don't know, but you would have to get me into it because I have no clue about that world.
Can you play like with a microphone headset on a Switch? Because do you have a PS5 or is it just a Switch?
I got a PS4 and
Oh,
then
you
the
have a
Switch.
PS4 though.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, then you have a PSN account.
I don't know. I think so.
Like, do you
I
go
think so.
live? Do you play online games where you like chat with
I've
others?
never played a game in my life with PlayStation.
Okay, well we're gonna change that then. But for sure, whenever like if you like when if you make a PSN account, you should add me because sometimes I have a PS5 and I still have my PS4. We'll figure something out. That'd be cool. RF stands for radio frequency, I think is what it stands for.
There you go.
Little pitchfork thing. Oh yeah, they have to screw into that, and it's like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like there's that just doesn't work for anything anymore. That's so old school. Yeah, my the Atari I had was like that, but then I bought like a different cable for it, so I could screw it into the coaxial. But yeah, that's so old. Oh my gosh, that like pitchfork thing. Everything's HDMI. All you need is one cable. HDMI. It does audio and video. It's so much better the times we live in now versus then.
Mm-hmm.
I have the TVs for it. I'm just lazy.
Get to it.
Yeah, get on that so we can all live stream here on television.
Oh my god, that would be so cool because we could also do live stream within the game, right? Like all of us
Yeah,
playing
just
in the game
mm-hmm.
and then showing our faces or
Yeah.
not because we're in the game.
There's gotta be a way. Like where we all have little boxes and next to like our
Yeah.
gameplay, and it's like our box down here.
Yes.
That would be really cool. Rabbit ears said este. I'm not too sure if that's something about the pitchfork thing, the rabbit ears, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, even if we play Mario Kart, like I don't care as long as we could all play online, at least 4 players, and then we're all driving together. Cause I'm a whole different person when it comes to playing games. Oh, I turn into a beast. Like I'm really competitive. I be screaming. I have anxiety, and then it comes out in the game. Like,
You like
yeah.
snap your switch in half because you're so mad.
Oh,
Just
no, stop it. When I was little, we used to play Monopoly, and every single time I would lose, I would flip the table, flip the
mm.
game, get angry, and I used to cry and cry. Yeah, I was crazy. Yeah, I'm crazy.
uh, Monopoly is such a personal like everybody takes it so personally because it's such a it
Right,
can be a real long game and there's so much time and effort and thought that goes into it. So when something doesn't
right,
go your way, you're automatically just pissed off, like just you give up.
right. And then come to find out that my uncle was stealing money from the bank. All that threw me off. I was ready to fight, throw hands. I was like, no,
You see, that's just dirty. That's a
exactly. But that's the
right
type
there.
of family you got.
That's a disfellowshipping offense to me.
Right? Being so dishonest. Oh, but you know when the credit card came out, the Monopoly with the credit cards, I
Hmm.
was obsessed with that. And then
I
I
never
was
played that
playing.
one.
What? It had
Not
like a
with
little
that.
machine, and then you would put the credit card on one side, another, and if you were paying somebody, you would put the credit card on the other side, and then you would switch like digital money, and that was like the bank. So I was like the digital banker, and I was playing with another kid that I mean, he wasn't a JW, but I was playing with him.
Mhm.
And the whole game, I was finessing him out of his money, and he didn't know why. He was like, "Where's all my money going?" And he never suspected me. And it was only until the end of the game that his whole face dropped when he found out that I was stealing money or like playing the game dirty. And I felt so bad after that. Like I felt guilty that I was playing like so dishonestly in the game. But I thought it was gonna be funny. Like I was laughing, ha ha ha! It was me the whole time, and he was like legit sad. And I
Mm.
was like, oh my God, I hurt his feelings. Like I felt bad that I hurt his feelings. And that was
Yeah.
it. I never played Dishonest ever again.
Yeah, being a witness makes you so sensitive that even when if you're playing a joke, you take it so seriously to yourself.
Exact. And I used to play
Mhm,
pranks on people. And then my mom had to counsel me on that because she was like, we shouldn't be pranking. That comes from, the devil, trickery and lies. That all comes
mhm,
from the devil. So what you're doing is what Satan would do because he tricked Eve, right? And she died.
mhm,
And then look what you're doing. You're tricking people. And I was like, are you serious right now? Like we were recording the pranks. Like this was back in the day when YouTube first started, and we were
mhm.
recording people. And I pranked my cousin. It was the best. It was the best time of my life, and I had to stop the pranking.
Just because like the witness believes and that makes you take everything so seriously.
Right.
There's no humor, there's no grace in anything. It's just it is what it is, and that's it.
Exactly. Oh my God. I actually did a YouTube video back in the day, like 2012, 2013, and we
Mhm,
posted it like unlisted. And we were just sending the link to all of our JW friends, like even women, like not just children, but like women, sisters. It was so offensive, apparently, because this one sister drove to my house, knocked on the door, and said, "Do you know what your daughter just posted on the internet?" And I was like in my room listening, and I'm like, no way. She like we just posted the video. How did she come here that fast? That's how bad it was. And it was because we were doing a skit that I was pretending to be like have a Chinese accent. I was like squinting my eyes. It was funny. It was like satire. It was to be funny. It wasn't like racist or anything, but that's what she said. She was like, it's highly offensive that you're making fun of a group of people just because of how what they look like or what they sound like. And I'm like, bro,
mhm.
like it's not even that deep. It was just we were being funny.
You were being
And
kids.
my
You
mom,
were being you were
huh?
just doing stuff like as kids.
Right, we're being funny, we're being creative. Like it wasn't even a public video, so it's not like people could see it. It was just like an inside joke type of thing. And
Mhm,
it was so bad that she came to my house and she told my mom on me. And then when I came out the room, I was like, because you know what, my mom, she's the type of mom to be like, why don't you talk to her directly? And I'm like, yo, you can't like be there for me, like take some heat off of me. Like I'm mad embarrassed. I'm a kid, you know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
no, she didn't spare me from that embarrassment. So I had to walk out to the living room and get lectured by a sister in the congregation because of the video that I posted. And then she was like, I would really
Mm,
appreciate it if you deleted the video because it could be offensive to our brothers and sisters that are Asian. And I was like, what? And then I was looking at my mom like, do I really have to delete the video? Like, are you serious right now?
mhm,
Like an unhinged liberal. Like, no offense. I'm just saying, like, she
mhm.
was like that hardcore about it. And then my mom was like, it could be a stumbling block. So I think you should delete the video.
Yeah. When it comes to witnesses, anything can be a stumbling block. Like anybody could be offended with anything, and you're always what is it? You're always like on glass. What is that? You know what I'm saying?
Walking on eggshells.
You're
Yeah.
walking on eggshells. Exactly.
Yeah.
So like you can't have any fun, and it's like Estes says here, it's like no April Fool's Day. Like
Never. Like you can't even be funny.
no, and I remember there was a brother that was like a teenager when I was a kid growing up, and he did a YouTube video. I think it was the Harlem Shake way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Do the Harlem Shake,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
he was like gyrating or something, and then
Mm-hmm.
they got in trouble for that, and they had to delete it, and the video had like 20 views probably. You know what I mean? And the 20 views were probably the elders looking over it.
Yep. That's when I stopped. I was like, I'm not gonna be funny anymore. I'm just gonna stop. I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna get in trouble over somebody, getting offended and coming to my house. Like, how crazy is that?
It again, it's there's no fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I got to play games with you sometime, Ruby. LMAO, we got to do one-on-one Smash Bros. Oh my gosh, I love Smash Bros. I haven't played in a hot minute, but I
What?
freaking love
Yes.
Smash Bros.
I want
Like
as many as people as many players, and I think they do 4 players. So I want to get at least 4 players, and then we're gonna
do
play.
you have it on the Switch? Smash Bros?
The Switch. Yeah.
I
Wait, no,
don't
no, no,
have
not Smash Bros. The kart, Mario Kart.
but you've never played Super Smash Bros?
We used to have that game, and you know what happened? My son was in public school, and he traded it, and I almost killed him because I was like, "Why would you trade that game?"
What do you trade it for?
I can't even remember. I don't even know.
Oh, then it wasn't worth it.
That's what I'm saying. But
That
he's 9
sucks.
years old. He don't know any better. And I'm like, you don't bring games to school. And you don't trade that. That's like a $60 game. Like, what are you doing?
That is the reason why I have it on the Wii U. I haven't played it even on the Switch yet. Is because it is like it's still $60. Like the price has stayed the same.
And you
Even
can't, if you go to GameStop, you can't trade the game, right? Like, it's not the same value.
yeah, like yeah, they give you way less in GameStop.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep what I got.
But when I would play Smash Bros, I always mained my main was Kirby, and I freaking
Mm-hmm.
love main like playing Smash Bros as Kirby because you can like
Mm-hmm.
suck the enemies like the other guys, and then like you like be have their you kind of look like them. You have like their hat and stuff.
That's the fighting game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
violent. Oh, okay, okay.
Violent. It really isn't because even as a witness, me and my witness friends, we would play
Yeah.
Smash Bros regularly.
Oh, okay, okay.
As an elders kid, I hated that every step was used as a way to attack my family. Yeah, it's true because like they would say the you have to be a good example for the congregation. You're like the elders family, so y'all were almost like representative of the elder himself. So we had to always be careful with what we did, what we posted online, because if something was reflected negatively on us, it reflected negatively on him.
He could lose his position because of you.
Exactly. Oh man, I was just like your son at that age, LME. I was trading expensive ass games. I got my whooped for it. Yeah, I mean, I would be so sad if I traded if I was
No, one time
like,
he traded the game to a girl and he didn't get anything in return. I was like, did they just finesse you? So you're gonna give a $60 game to a girl just because she looked cute and she didn't give you anything? That's not a trade. You gave her something for free, basically.
yeah.
I was like, tomorrow you're gonna go back to school and you better go get that little girl and tell her to give you the game back because your mother said so.
Hmm. That would be so sad. You have one game and then the next day it's just given away. Oh no.
No, yeah, I had to lock up the games. That was the end of that.
Dude, I traded away my Game Boy that's worth almost $1,000 now. I've heard that those Game Boys that were like in that plastic that's see-through are
Oh my,
expensive.
yeah, I had a blue one, I think.
And I used to have the Pikachu version of a Game Boy Color, and it had like the little.
Oh.
It was yellow. It was really bright yellow,
Oh, that's super cute.
and it had like Pikachu in the bottom corner. And we didn't trade that away. I'm sure we sold it in a yard sale for like $5 back in the day.
Oh my
But
God, that gives me that. Thank God he said that because my dad still has my Game Boy and he has it in his house, and I'm going to his house next Saturday. So
you,
I'm gonna pick it up if
you
I find
should.
it in his house. I'm
You
gonna bring
should.
it, and the next time we go on live, I'm gonna show you because it still has the original game in it. Like when I had it when I was a little kid, I couldn't even believe it. He
What
kept it
game
all
is
of
in
these
it?
years, and it works.
Do you know what game is in it?
I think it's like a Mario game, but like
Oh, that's
the
cool.
'90s, like the Game Boy thingy, like
OG.
mad old.
Yeah. That's cool. I would love to see that. Bro, Colder Pizza, my main is Ganondorf and Princess Peach. That's lit. Ganondorf's awesome to play as. Um I would always play as Link, Kirby, and maybe Wario. There's a few, but Kirby was always like the main, like the one I always played as. But if you're not, it would be so fun to play Smash Bros. Like that'd be cool. Because
Yeah, I think
Smash
it
Bros,
needs
you can
double
have
A
like a bunch of people
batteries.
playing.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, do Mario Kart and Smash Bros. It'd be like a Mario thing. That'd be fun for sure. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I've had a great time tonight. I've had an excellent time. We've had excellent conversations, excellent stream, good comments. I would like to thank y'all for your wonderful comments and thank Jehovah for the Holy Spirit for giving us to answer such wonderfully.
Yo. Oh my God, bro.
Let's just bring it back.
Oh my God.
But in all seriousness, thank you guys. It was a great time. Don't hang up. I still just want to like touch base with you, Ruby Quinn, before the end. Um,
Okay.
but thank you guys for watching. I had a great time. Don't forget to check Ruby's YouTube channel. The link will be in the description of this live stream. And we're also open on Twitter. And is there anything coming up? Do you know when your interview's coming up with the elder you were talking about, the one that was on Lloyd Evans' channel, or do you know any updates on that?
Yeah, so he emailed me and he said tomorrow. So tomorrow
Okay.
afternoon we're gonna record it and then I'll just trim it, edit it, and then possibly upload it late at night or Sunday.
Okay. So be on the lookout for that. And then my YouTube video thing is like way out of whack. I just do it when I want to. But I post
Yeah.
kind of similarly regularly here and on TikTok, so you can catch me there. And also for both of us on the Twitters. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good night. Bye, Este, Jeff Parnell, Darth Ligma, and Dame Fuego Amor. See you guys. I'm gonna end the stream.
Bye.
Bye.